Just as this past weekend's festivities began, Mayor Mark Kemp said as of yesterday, no decision's been made. However, he said he preferred smaller parades, such as school parades, saying the Mardi Gras parade attracts too many out-of-towners and too much gang activity for the small town to manage. East Baton Rouge Metro Councilman Cleve Dunn testified at the 19th JDC yesterday in a long-running case to settle a dispute between him and his former neighbors. This stems from a lawsuit over a pool cabana and fence that were built without proper permits, and it's very much worth noting, has nothing to do with the current allegations against Cleve Dunn.
Do you think the allegations came knowing that this civil suit was coming?
Start over.
Do you think that the indictment was timed to align with the civil trial? Because the civil trial is a neighbor dispute, right? And it doesn't make him look great. Do you think that there was a tactical, like, hey, we know this is coming, so it
turns into a 1-2 punch?
Strategically, it makes sense.
That does, absolutely. What were we on, 2?
Sorry.
No worries. State Senator Blake Miguez announced yesterday he's entering the race for Louisiana's 5th congressional district, seeking to replace Congresswoman Julia Letlow as she is campaigning for U.S. Senate, which is the race that Miguez was running in. Miguez will join us Tuesday at 8:15, Letlow today at 8:35. One day after DOC Secretary Gary Westcott criticized the reporting on the deaths at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center, one day after, a 43-year-old inmate died in Elaine Hunt Correctional Center on Tuesday. Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections officials are reporting the inmate was identified as Walter Lewis. At this time, his death is undetermined and an autopsy will be requested. That makes 18 deaths since last September. What you got trending, Breland?
The Pima County Sheriff says a ransom note was sent to a local Arizona news station following the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie.
Okay, so we can now officially rule out she didn't just wander off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. After the suspicious articles were left in her house, I'm like, yeah.
The suspicious one, but even then it wasn't definitive.
Right.
This is pretty dang definitive.
My thing is, though, all right, you're revealing who you are now.
What, the ransom?
Yeah,
note?
yeah, with the ransom.
Well, no, it's going to be like all,
send
anonymous
it to so
with a
and
drop
so
spot. And yeah, then you get, what was, like the Mel Gibson movie? What was that called? Ransom.
You know what ransom notes do?
What?
They start showing your true intrinsic value to those who love you.
Oh.
Like $50,000 or Brian gets it.
And it's like,
well, Brian had a good run.
Meanwhile, I'm like, 50 grand is all they asked for me?
That's a lot.
Really?
Meanwhile, though, I mean, I'm not trying to make light, but this woman's going to die any day now if she doesn't get her medication.
I know. I hate to sound morbid, if not already.
Right.
Does she depreciate in value?
That's my question.
As soon as she rolls out the lot of her house?
For the ransom note.
Oh.
It's bold to ask for ransom for the longer you keep this woman, the less likely it is that she's going to come home anyway. I'm being heartless and but pragmatic at the same time.
Right. The first events of the 2026 Winter Olympic Games, get underway today ahead of Friday's opening ceremony. I'm ready.
Are you?
Yes. I like that better than summer.
Really?
Me. You got bobsled, you got ski jumping, snowboarding, half pipe, you got just energy. It's different.
I don't know. I'm a big curling guy. I like it.
So you like the summer games better?
No, curling's winter. I do like curling, and outside of that, I don't know. It's Winter Olympics seems like 90% of it's ice skating, the stuff that we can see on TV.
You know what? That's very true.
Yeah. I tell you what I do like about the Olympics, though, is I like that. Like other countries will have their national heroes participating in a sport. Like a sport that we have never cared about, will never care about. And you'll have some nothing country that we've never heard of show up, and they've got they're like, this guy back home, he is a national hero for, I know, let's just say,
yeah.
I know archery, biathlon. Okay. That's where you ski and then you shoot. Back home, he's a national hero for being a biathlon competitor. And then some American will go out and beat him, and then go home and just go back to driving Uber.
But it's true.
It is.
Oh, wow. All right. Dave & Buster's has got a Valentine's promotion that's going viral. They have 5 $15,000 engagement rings, and it will be available as prizes in claw machines, but only at select locations. It costs about at least $20 to play.
The claw machine at Dave & Buster's is going to have 3-carat diamond rings in it.
Nothing says love like a Dave & Buster's engagement ring. Nothing. Maybe I'm single for a reason.
Hey, Franz, so's everyone else at Dave & Buster's.
Right. Oh.
If you take a first date to Dave & Buster's, you're probably not
Here's
getting
the
a
thing.
second date. You're probably not getting a second date.
Here's the thing, though. Not a first date, but like, what was the one, it like Dave & Buster's-ish, used to be right next to the Varsity. What was Barcadia? Was that what it's called? Barcadia?
Barcadia.
Christy and I went to Barcadia for our anniversary one year and had the greatest time.
So here's the thing. If you're a dude and you know that there's like a diamond ring in the claw machine, and you really don't want to marry the chick, like you don't want to go to Dave & Buster's.
No, because she's gonna push
What
you
happens
over
if you went?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like you're not even trying to get that. Oh, I'm sorry, my aim was off.
Gosh.
My whole thing is like, how many dudes are just gonna like drop 20 in, drop 20 in, drop 20 in, and they totally roid rage on the side of the machine? Oh man, we got a break. Sports is coming up. It's 6:13 to Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Before we take that break, let me remind you about the folks over at NeuroJust. If you or someone you know is battling with anxiety or depression and has thus far been treatment resistant, meaning the sit-down therapy isn't taking, you hate the way you feel on antidepressants, give NeuroJust a look, if you would please. NeuroJust. What they do, they specialize in transcranial magnetic stimulation. Okay, that is FDA approved. That is completely non-invasive, no side effects. And oh, by the way, your insurance does pick up the tab. What transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy as they call it, what it does is sends magnetic pulses that lowers those 6-foot waves that are constantly chopping around in your brain. That constant fight or flight that you're always battling with, this helps calm those seas. Give them a call, 225-330-7382, 225-330-7382, or check them out online at neurojust.com.
You know, I'm hating on Dave & Buster's. I've never been to Dave &
Me
Buster's, so I really should retract the don't take a first date to Dave & Buster's.
I was about to say, I don't know if I haven't been. Lafayette has one now. New Orleans has one in the quarter, correct?
Yeah.
Did they have another one in Metairie or something?
I think so, but like Baton Rouge was supposed to get one, but they like totally cock blocked it because you had like kids games and alcohol under the same roof. So
Predator's Paradise.
Main Event has that. You can buy alcohol at Main Event.
This was 30 years ago they tried to come here.
Oh, okay. I'm for it. Get the thing of beer, let the kids play.
You know what I'm for? We were talking about AI
I'm not
before.
for bringing kids to Dave & Buster's. The grown-ups play the kids' games.
So what I'm for, and we were talking about AI before we went on air. There is a new AI trend of taking people and having them do the crypt walk from the crypts to the Ice Cube, Keep It Gangsta. In the Gutter is the name of the song, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a thing now. So like elderly people, like you see this dude come in on a walker, and then all of a sudden he starts doing crypt walk, and it's just an AI generator. I'm all about that. I feel like I need to have a crypt walk.
Okay.
You know, okay, well, let me take a step back. You know who the Crips are, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gang.
Mm-hmm.
West Coast represent.
Yeah.
There is a dance commonly done by Snoop Dogg. That's normally where we've seen it done. Who was once a Crip. Fun fact.
Is there a T on the end of that? That's what I keep getting
Crip,
stuck on.
Crip.
Yeah.
Quip.
You get the cuts I sent you? Okay. 616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time, and you know what? It is also Super Bowl week. I know Winter Olympics starting tonight, but I think our focus would be a lot more on the Super Bowl. How about hearing from some LSU players? Media day for players yesterday. Let's go ahead and start off with Will Campbell, former Tiger, now playing for New England. Asked a little bit about what he's been picking up, what he's been learning, not just through his rookie season, but especially has it ramped up during the playoffs?
Yeah, everything. Every single player in this league is looking for ways to grow. There's never going to be a perfect game, but you just take the punches and roll with them and, learn from it. Whether it's good or bad, you can't get too high, can't get too low, can't ride the emotional roller coaster, and just continue to try to better yourself.
Meanwhile, Kelvon Chason was asked about some other strengths on the same defensive side that he's on, talking about he's giving some love to Christian Barmore.
Yeah, man, love Barmore to death, bro. I think that's the key to this defense, bro. The tenacity, the urgency, the aggression that he plays with. He doesn't get as much recognition as he should. He's holding down the run game, man. In the pass game, he's causing disruption. I think he's everything and more to this defense for sure. And I think the best thing we get from Baltimore is consistency, man. As much as he is a factor to this team, we don't go out looking for praise and recognition. He's not asking for a pat on the back, but he knows the dirty work that needs to get done for the team to have success in the defense, continue to be dominant for sure.
One more on the New England side, that would be Mr. Keyshawn Boutte. Is it harder to play in the Super Bowl, keep your focus with so much going on?
Nah, I mean, it's still football at the end of the day, whether I'm playing it here in Gillette, whether we go to Miami, it's still football. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to think no different about a game. So, at the end of the day, I still got to execute the same way.
I know all the audio was on the New England side. That's because there's only one LSU Tiger on the Seattle side. That's offensive lineman Anthony Bradford, and I don't think he had any media availability, or at least no pull quotes from the services yesterday. So, anyway, Super Bowl will be on our sister station, Eagle. I'm not sorry, Eagle. 104.5 ESPN coming up on Sunday, and we're looking to connect with Matt Moscona's up there, or I should say over there, San Francisco, doing his show from there for the rest of this week. So if we can connect with him before the week's out, we will do that as well. In the meanwhile, it's going to be a fun week leading up to it. I know last night's Pro Bowl was garbage, but other than that, always looking forward to this week. We're coming up on 620 at Talk 107.3 FM at WBRP. We will check the Fox Business Report. I'll give a look at traffic on the way back in. Oh, we got a doozy of a legally served for you today. A couple of different topics to cover, but we're definitely going to start off with a First Amendment topic that just hold on. It'll be here in just a minute. Oh, my word.
If you're over 40 and plan to retire someday, the window to protect what you built may be smaller than you realize. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you built becomes just as important as growth. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding gold and silver to their portfolio. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com, NobleGoldInvestments.com.
I was just thinking, out of all the rappers in the rapper universe, if you could have lunch with one rapper, who would you have lunch with?
Well, I would probably stand the most to gain by having lunch with 50 Cent.
That would be hilarious.
Well, no, I mean he's invested in Shreveport pretty heavily.
Oh. He also likes to keep a grudge. Is that a story in there?
Yeah. I'm trying to get an interview with him.
Entertainment Dome?
Yeah.
That's like something out of Mad Max. Welcome to Thunderdome! Very underappreciated movie, by the way.
Okay.
That's good. That's a lot of money. Why Shreveport? What's his tie to Shreveport? I mean, I guess it would be affordable.
Film tax credits for one thing.
Film tax credits. It's close to Texas.
All right, we are looking at slowdowns that are pretty heavy right now. I-12 westbound from Airline up to the 10-12 merge is what we've got going on. 12 westbound from the 10-12 merge is super backed up right now. We are also looking at slowdowns, your normal delays really, on 12 westbound way back by Denham Springs. Starts, it really starts around Jubin and then stays slow through Range, through O'Neill, and then from O'Neill to in between Sherwood and Airline, it picks back up just a little bit. But once you get to Airline, it is going to be slow going. The reason for that is about an hour ago, there was an accident on I-12 West. It's still being reported in the roadway, 12 West in between the Split and Essen. So that if that's still out there, that's your big problem right now. Meanwhile, we are looking at there's blockage on 10 East by Bluebonnet, but that's not causing any delays. So we'll keep it moving. 10 West coming in from Ascension looks good. 10 East coming across from West Baton Rouge is looking well. It's a little bit slow right now from say the top of the bridge or from Highway 1 up to the top of the bridge as you're coming into Baton Rouge. It will be slow going there. I want to go back over to 12 because another one just popped up on the board here. I-12 westbound and in between O'Neill and Sherwood. It looks like there's a hit and run just happened less than 10 minutes ago. So what I was telling you about that normal volume that runs up to about O'Neill, it's probably going to get a lot heavier within the next few minutes. Also on your surface streets, we've got an accident to look out for right now. That would be Segan at Perkins. And that is really the only hiccup on the surface streets right now. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 173 Traffic Center. Broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. In fact, let me tell you a little bit about 180 Pros and why what you get from 180 Pros is a little bit different. Yeah, you got IT companies all over the place that can throw certifications in your face and tell you they've got the latest in tech and whatnot. What you get from 180 Pros, along with all the latest in tech and along with the top-notch cybersecurity protection, you get a relationship, a full-on relationship, someone you can call regularly, locally at 330-2200 to make sure your network is not just up and running, but maximize the entire time. They base their success off your success. By the way, forget about all the itemized billing, simplified billing with 180 Pros. And oh, by the way, if you partner with 180 Pros starting this month, 20% off. Learn more at 180pros.com. Time for Legally Served. Let's go.
This song just really doesn't get old. You did a great job on this.
What?
You did a great job on this.
Thank you.
The intro never gets old. How long did that take you to make?
I don't know.
Hey, I could do it pretty quick, I imagine, too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not as good, though.
No.
It's tight.
I mean,
it's tight.
Tight.
Well, welcome back, Franz.
It's like I've already been here once this week.
I know.
And
we had a
I'm
lot to talk about, though.
Dude, I've said this before. out of all the media I do, whether it's national, local news, everything I do, this is the most fun I have.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's like a conversation with friends. We're
It
just
is.
having coffee. We're talking about like First Amendment rights.
Yes.
You know, you have a right as the press to publish stuff, no matter how ridiculous the stuff you're publishing is.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Let's set the table first and visit our,
yeah.
our good friends over at AFB. My apologies.
Bless you.
I'm gonna have to reach for that cough button a lot today. The East Baton Rouge Parish Attorney is seeking a protective order to limit a local newspaper's coverage of a lawsuit challenging a Metro Council ordinance that diverts money from Entergy utility franchise fees to council districts. In 2004, the Metro Council approved an ordinance to divert some money from Entergy bills back to each council district, with just over $100,000 going to each district. The ordinance drew a lawsuit from a former Metro Council member, Darrell Glasper, who alleges the measure is illegal. Woody Jenkins, chairman of the East Baton Rouge Republican Party and editor of the conservative publication Central City News, has been reporting on the lawsuit. In an article from December 19th, Jenkins called the fund allocation a slush fund.
Is that a conservative publication?
It's whatever pops into Woody's head. Quote, we are definitely saying it's a slush fund, and we're doing that as a news report because it is. It factually is, Jenkins said. Now, whether it's illegal or criminal, we're not saying that. We are saying that others have said it. Okay, first of all, a slush fund by its very nature is illegal. So when you call something a slush fund, you are saying they're doing something illegal.
I'm not a reporter.
Okay.
I don't write articles, but I've heard of this thing called bias.
Yeah.
And when you use terms like slush fund, it's a conclusion.
Yeah.
Right? You're not reporting like this is what's going on. You're saying this is the conclusion. So that being said, it's a paper. It's a newspaper. I saw it for the first time yesterday. It looks like a paper. It smells like a paper. It has articles, mostly written by Woody. And in this paper, oddly enough, the paper I saw actually, this was the front cover of the paper. And then the second story on the back inside was the Jeff Hughes story that we talked about that he's also championing.
Yeah.
Woody Jenkins is also So, I mean, it's a paper with an agenda.
Well, yeah, it could just as easily be called "What Grinds My Gears."
But here's the thing:
by Woody Jenkins,
political speech, political press speech.
Yes,
high form of protected speech.
Yes,
so he has some constitutional rights.
Absolutely, he does.
And I said it yesterday in that very article, WAFB. Is it weird that I'm about to quote myself from the thing that?
Well, Woody does in his paper all the time.
I mean, if you can't quote yourself,
and then say something worth quoting.
I'm about to pull a Woody.
All right, go for it.
So he has a right to report news, no matter how one-sided, no matter how biased, ridiculous, or asinine as he wants to be in his reporting.
Yeah.
His ethical safety bumpers are the FCC, right?
Yeah.
Right? He can get in trouble if he violates that, but candidly, he can be as silly as he wants to be.
All right, so we're going to talk about that on the back end because it raises other questions. Tell you what, we're coming up for our break. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. On the back end, we will continue Legally Served. We got Franz Borghardt in studio that's coming up next.
Listen. Here's the thing. What are we not talking about? We're not talking about the lawsuit. We're not talking about the diversion of the money into the council districts. We're talking about we're talking about Woody Jenkins and First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
It was a masterful stroke by the parish attorney's office.
Yeah.
How do you diffuse Woody Jenkins?
By the way, the FCC is only broadcast.
I'm sorry.
I know. We'll clarify on the way back in. Though.
Okay. Who regulates newspapers? But the facial expression you made when I said it was great.
What? Yeah.
Who does regulate newspapers? Well, here's the question. We know that social media is the Wild Wild West.
Yes.
So like when WAFB posts something on social media that's not on air, that's not regulated by the FCC.
Wait, say that again? Oh, when we say something on Facebook?
No. So So if WAFB runs this story on WAFB, they're regulated by FCC. But if one of their reporters does something on social media, is it regulated? No.
And newspapers are regulated by the court system.
Well, there you go.
Well, who
another one?
but who regulates the digital aspect?
Nobody.
I don't think anybody does.
Nobody, unless
Richard
you have a libel suit.
Yeah, Richard Sprinkle and I did a shout out to Legally Unfiltered. We did a podcast on this very topic. The podcasting world, the digital podcast is the Wild Wild West. You can do whatever you want. You literally, the Joe Rogan experience, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Now, if you're airing an experience, a podcast on like a radio or television station, then it becomes subject to regulation. But the podcast itself is not regulated by anything other than the civil rules of libel, slander, defamation. And by the way, you can get around defamation by just saying, it is my opinion.
Damn. That opens up a whole nother can of worms.
Fun times. Well, it's one of the reasons why in the future, like I'm not to talk about Brian as if he's not here. Brian could have a podcast on YouTube and make exponentially more money than he can on terrestrial because it's unregulated. You can do all sorts of.
Hang on. There's no regulation that determines what I can make on this station.
No, you can make as much money as you want.
Right.
That is fair. Yes, you could make a lot of money on this, but the earning potential, because it's more uncensored. That's what I meant.
Okay, but at the same time, though, the number of people who make oodles of money in their podcasts is unbelievable.
It's not about the money for you. It's about you've been in radio for how many years?
I like keep my lights on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like pay them. I like money.
We just had a second sticker added to the family last night.
Oh, that's true. Congratulations. It's my favorite line from Idiocracy.
I like money.
I like money.
You want to put toilet water on them?
Baiting. The public defender. Every time I watch that.
I think my favorite
Costco
is when President Camacho is talking, and he's like, shit,
and it's on the teleprompter,
and even the elongated pauses are on the teleprompter. Shit's getting bad. The shit's on the teleprompter.
I'll correct myself when we get back.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is a tactical maneuver there. I think that the parish attorney's office knows they're going to lose that motion.
Yeah.
But what are we talking? And by the way, now Woody has to defend that protective order because he will.
No, but also, I don't like the move at all.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm in media. I don't like the move at all because now it makes it sound like the parish attorney is afraid of what he said. Let's go down this path. This is a good path.
Okay. I get to use the word taint. Jury pool. Tainting a jury pool. Taint.
As opposed to gooch.
My 10-year-old used a phrase. I can say this on Facebook Live. He used a phrase that I wasn't emotionally and mentally ready for him to know. Swamp butt. He's like, Dad, I need to take a shower. I've been playing basketball and I got swamp butt. And I looked at him and I'm like, I like the fact that your hygiene is on the forefront, but I don't know that I'm emotionally ready for you to know what swamp butt is. Shout out to the Mercy Jays. They won last night a basketball game, which doesn't happen often.
We've got 2 wins on the whole season.
Yeah.
Both in the St. Jude tournament.
Yeah. We won one of the games in the St. Jude tournament because the other team didn't show up. I'll take that win.
And then we didn't advance to bracket play because due to the third tiebreaker, the other team moved ahead. By the way, the other team was St. Jude. Surprise!
Are you going to Rotary today?
Yeah, here's the news. Yeah, I will likely fall asleep during Rotary to the point where I snore. I'm not good.
I don't make it through the meeting. I don't make it through the entire. Yeah, dude, get the needle.
You'll be feeling better about tonight.
Don't you have like a medical sponsor? You just call them up and text them.
Our
and
Lady
say,
of the Lake.
Yeah. Hey, I need to give me the needle.
They don't. They're not. They don't sponsor us.
Yeah, that's true. Be like, Doc, give me a shot.
637 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We're going to pick back up on this Woody Jenkins v. Parish Attorney topic in just a second, but I do want to make a clarification.
So I said that
go ahead.
newspapers are regulated by the FCC. What I should have said and what I meant to say, sometimes I'm talking faster than I'm thinking, is actually they're regulated by the court system.
Yeah.
Libel, slander, defamation.
Right.
So your ethic, but there is ethics in broadcasting.
I find
and
it
news.
weird that the newspaper would not be considered communications. It's the Federal Communications Commission, and it's there to regulate what's over the air.
Well, fun fact, part of that protective order was about social media as well. That's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
We were talking at break. That ain't regulated.
So, okay, here in response to the lawsuit, the parish attorney filed a motion for protective order that's not yet enforceable because the judge has not signed it. In the motion, the parish attorney alleges Jenkins is actively trying to prejudice any potential jurors against defendants prior to the trial and preventing defendants from a fair trial. In the break, Franz, you were saying you kind of like this move?
I think it's a strategic move.
Okay.
I think it's strategic because what are we talking about? We're talking about Woody Jenkins and his publication. We're not talking about the underlying lawsuit. Number one. Number two, play this out. There's going to be a courtroom where at some point the parish attorney's office is going to look at the judge and say, that ain't a real publication. It is going to be a ridicule session in a public forum. Again, am I the only one who sees that coming?
So let me put a different spin on it though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good move because it makes it sound like you're scared of Woody Jenkins and what he might say.
I think that's the counter argument. Number one, it is press. That's why I said the soundbite I said to WAFB and to you is, regardless of how I feel about the newspaper, it's a newspaper, it's press.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy one. Yes, he's a highly political figure. He blurs the line. He blurs the line between press and highly political figure. But that being said, he has a constitutional right. That motion fails. That said, is it that you're afraid of him, or are you putting him on blast for doing what we all know that he's doing, such that you can put him on blast so it invalidates his opinion? First of all, if you're getting, no offense to Woody Jenkins, you're going
to say that? After everything you said leading up to here, now you're going to say that?
Woody, if you're listening, Woody, I'll take you out the roost and I'll buy lunch. Point is, no offense, is that where you're getting your news? It's more commentary on news and stuff than actual news, right?
Depending on where you are. So you got to go through the whole paper. Yes, there's plenty of commentary. He leads with the commentary, puts his commentary up front, and there's a lot of commentary that is, he's still reporting news. It's just got a
parish
bent to
attorney's office is going to lead with, this is what he does. He involves himself in civil matters, whether it's in family court or in this one, to affect outcome, which as a person he can do.
That's where I have a question, though, is if the intent is to report what's going on, that's one thing. If the intent is to affect outcome, is it still journalism?
Again, I think by the loosest of analysis, that paper is press. Is it a we're afraid of Woody Jenkins? Well, I'm sure that's how he woke up and felt this morning is, oh man, the parish attorney's office is afraid of me.
Why wouldn't he?
Right. I'm telling you, the strategic maneuvers are going to be somebody in the parish, whether it's special counsel who filed that or someone else, is going to argue loudly that it's not a newspaper, that he's not genuinely the press, and they're gonna throw out every single peccadillo about Woody Jenkins and his reporting, air quotes intended there, and it's going to it is a distraction maneuver. Is it good law? Because it's press, right? Is it good law in the sense that are they really tainting the jury pool? Well, not necessarily. I mean, you get to voir dire, you get to do jury selection on, hey, do you read anything by Woody Jenkins? Some of those, I do. You know that some of those potential jurors are gonna be like, who's Woody Jenkins? In the same way, who's Franz Borghardt?
Woody Jenkins he served the state. He wrote, I believe it was in the state legislature when the Constitution.
I love
was
our
written.
jury pool in Baton Rouge.
So that's valid. Okay, all right. Let me. That was so you weren't taking a shot at Woody. You were taking a shot at the jury pool.
I bet you there's a bunch of folks that don't know who Woody Jenkins is.
That's fair.
But after they argue in a court of law with WAFB, WBRZ, the Advocate, and we'll talk about it afterwards. After they argue in an open court, where they throw out some garbage, it is a tactical maneuver to get everyone off the topic of, wait a minute, you're doing what with this money? You're doing what with this energy money? We're not talking about that. We're talking about stifling free speech.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I hear you.
The other side of this coin is there's no shortage of lawyers on the Metro Council. And they've done their due diligence as well.
Did you see? You got to look, and I'll send it to you. I think I sent it to you. You got to look at who signed off on this. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm talking out of turn, I apologize. I think the mayor was attached to this motion as by being a party to the suit, and I think he removed his name from this motion. So I don't think everybody who's being sued right now is on board with this tactical maneuver, but it's a tactical maneuver nonetheless. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. But look, this is not the first time that he has written something that feels like he is trying to affect the outcome in a case. Same newspaper article that I was holding yesterday that dealt with this story, which is what's referenced in the protective order. Flip the page, and then there's the letter by Jeff Hughes, where Woody Jenkins was advocating for one of the parties that made lots of news.
Well, go back to the beginning and refresh that story for those that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which part?
The Jeff Hughes part.
So we talked a couple of weeks back about the family court stuff that was happening, corruption in the family court.
Yeah.
Woody Jenkins has been reporting on this and has been lobbying for one of the individuals who's fighting for her rights in the family court system.
By the way, Franz is air quoting when he says fighting for her rights.
Yes, that's a treat for the Facebook viewers.
Well, yeah, I know, but I want to make sure that the listening audience doesn't misunderstand you.
Right. So point is, there is a difference between I'm a reporter showing up and watching something that's happening and writing about a murder case and writing something that almost feels editorial about why the judge or why you should rule in this person's favor. That feels a little different.
Or taking it back around to the Entergy suit, why you as a constituent here in Baton Rouge should get active about your Metro Council and take action on this, what he's calling a slush fund, which, again, slush fund is illegal. It's the fact that he tried to
I feel like it's
parsing between what is an illegal slush fund and a not illegal slush funds are illegal.
So the question becomes, who's skewing? Does the media skew? Well, the media absolutely skews.
Of course.
But where I think the rubber meets the road for Woody Jenkins is he's writing opinion pieces as well. It's a newspaper that contains opinion pieces.
Newspapers have opinion pieces.
Right, absolutely.
Every last one of them does.
Absolutely.
So why should Woody Jenkins be judged by a different criteria when he's doing the exact same thing as the Advocate would be at NOLA.com?
Regardless of how you feel or how I feel about Woody Jenkins, and I don't really have strong feelings one way or another, that is why I'm saying, and I said yesterday and I'll say today, it's protected speech.
Yeah.
It's the press.
And look, I've worked on a campaign of his before, so I have no problem saying that.
Yeah,
I just think that this okay. Let me ask no, we got to get the break, but I'll throw out a question. We can pick it up on the back end. Okay, I'll throw out a question. We'll pick it up on the back end of break. Okay, where is the line that would be drawn where a court would need to take action to say no, you can't say that? That's where we're going to pick it up. Is there a line that can be crossed that even if it's in print, even if it's in a newspaper, what's the line that can't be crossed? That's where we're going to pick it up. He's Franz Borghardt. We do Legally Served about this time every week. We will continue after a quick break. Check of traffic. Your money now. We're back next. Ooh.
Shout out to my client, the Advocate. Shout out to I'm general counsel for the Advocate.
Really? I love it.
True story. I told him last night, when they come for the Advocate, I'll be there representing.
He's cool. He knows Drew. We all know Drew.
He's really a good guy. And it's but here's the fun thing. Here's the fun thing.
Ace Advocate.
It's it's parody, right? That's it.
Yeah.
I do have a Advocate Yeti.
Look,
Yeti.
you see that allegedly?
Mm-hmm.
Look to the right. Well, it's facing the other way right now. That's a Advocate.
Kim, you don't know who the Advocate is?
Oh,
Kim.
Kim.
Oh, Kim.
Oh,
Gross.
Lord.
Kim, you're about to go down a rabbit hole today. Go to the Advocate social media and enjoy yourself.
Go to Go Baton Rouge.
Maybe
GEAUX.
Maybe get yourself some bonbons. Maybe get yourself something cold to drink or hot, depending on how you want it.
Kim knows it. She's just kidding.
She.
Dave gives everybody Yetis. I have a pink one in my
house
somewhere.
I'm his attorney, and he didn't give me a Yeti. I had to buy it.
I have a 20-ounce Yeti. So like he likes me a little bit. Not a lot.
Dave, you need to
limp
give
Yeti.
Brian a pink Yeti.
It's flaccid.
Actually,
I gotta tell you, the common consensus is that the 20 ounce is better. Fits in more cup holders, unless it's. I mean, mine has the refined cup holder area. I mean, that's a 32 ouncer, baby.
Yeah,
that's how much I care about you. You don't use it, but that's how much I care
use it
about
every day, Franz.
You don't use it.
Breland, when I'm done with my coffee, what do I pour my water in?
The Franz Borghardt black cup.
The Borghardt Yeti, Borghardt Law Firm. I got some very lovely pink Yetis right now that say allegedly. Yes, you can. And they look like Stanley's. So Yeti was kind of designing. I don't know how I felt about the design, like them trying to be Stanley a little bit too much, but Kim has a Yeti. My dog loves Kim. It makes me a little uncomfortable. I've got dog envy.
Oh, I want to see how much access I'm going to get to Shark Week celebrities during Shark Week. Okay. There might be a better angle here.
Whatever you want. I just want to be the lawyer.
Yeah.
That is the fun angle for me.
Yeah.
And
but like, let me see. Shark Week celebrities.
That range that you mentioned, plus or minus, is doable. Kim puts clothes on my dog.
And I don't understand what you just said. Those were words.
Cold weather, dogs wear sweaters.
No, they don't. They do not. They absolutely do not.
You got some strong feelings about this?
No.
Do you have a dog? Do you
no,
own a dog? You have cats,
I
don't you?
Have a dog.
I don't
No.
think Brian has a pet, huh? Like, you don't have a cat.
He's got 3 kids. James is
No,
kind of like a pet.
Hang on. We have 3 kids. We are constantly at practice or some form of extracurricular activity. I had a dog growing up. I'm a dog guy. Love me some dogs. But I'm not going to have a dog that just sits at the house when no one's home.
James needs a leopard gecko.
No.
My kid wants a axolotl. He's obsessed with those things.
Those things are
all the kids are talking about
prehistorically creepy.
I know, with the little arms that hang out.
I don't have a clue.
I took a picture of one in Tampa when I was with the zoo. I'll have to show you.
Kim dresses my dog up like a Catholic schoolgirl. I'm very uncomfortable with it.
Kim says she needs to keep warm.
Yeah, that's why they have all that hair. their coat.
My dog is full figured,
What breed is your dog?
a mini schnauzer, and she is I think the term is voluptuous. She's my vet made fun of my dog's size. I got doesn't miss a meal was her phrase. I got very offended because I was holding the dog and I said, we don't talk about her weight in front of her. What are you trying to shame her?
I have a German Shepherd, but he's European, so he has that big fluffy coat and that undercoat.
Yes, Germany's in Europe.
Well, yeah, but he's the European bloodline. He's
the real bloodline. Very good.
Brian.
She got a Nazi dog. 652 talk. 652 talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Legally served with attorney Franz Borghardt, rolling right along. As we were heading to the break, I was asking Franz this question.
Where's the line?
Where's the line? If I put in print that the Metro Council is running a slush fund, I'm saying the Metro Council is doing something illegal. If I put in print that the Metro Council is running a slush fund and you need to run down to your Metro Council person's office and put a stop to it, does that cross the line?
So free speech, press, political speech is protected until you either do libel or slander. Fighting words are not protected. So go storm downtown town hall. No, that's not protected. Defamation, maybe, but here's the thing. His defense is opinion. It is my opinion. I mean, he's right. He may not agree with me that it's an opinion newspaper, that his articles are opinion pieces, but they are opinion pieces. And because of that, that's a shielding in my mind to defamation. It's not you are doing something. It's I believe you are doing something, which is a subtle distinction. But
and there's another subtle distinction that goes in there. Okay. What is in the Central City News is not 100% opinion. It is opinion and fact that are mixed together.
Which makes it very hard to distinguish.
Right. And this is why Woody has always been gifted at what he does politically for his entire career. He's a very, very gifted writer, very, very gifted orator, communicator of the works. So he dovetails or weaves together fact with opinion, and there is a very, very cloudy line around it.
I've been sitting here for 2 days saying it's constitutionally protected, regardless of whether or not you agree with it or not, because it is. The press need and look, go back to our founding fathers and think, why do we have a First Amendment right to the press to be free and to be able to publish and say stuff? It's because we lived in a time at one point in our history where writing articles about stuff would get you shot or hung, right? Yeah. And that's not what our country was founded on. In fact, we were trying to escape that.
Well, yes, and what he is doing is 100% the meaning of the First Amendment. And that's another reason why I don't like the parish attorney's move here. If the government is going to strike down on a printed publication because of what the printed publication is saying about the government, then that is, if you disagree that it's a slush fund, go out and prove it. If Metro Council, and I believe they're doing everything on the up and up. I've had Metro Council members in that chair talking about this particular Entergy fee, and I fully believe it's on the up and up. So I just happen to disagree with Woody on this one.
Does he get more subscribers as a result of this maneuver? Conservative subscribers that did not read it before are now going to look at it and say,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So he wins.
Of course.
The court is not going to make him take that stuff down.
I understand.
They're not going to restrict. And by the way, the restriction is based on an allegation that if they have a trial by jury, what he's essentially doing is tainting a Baton Rouge jury pool by reporting.
Wait, we're going back to the trial by jury over the Entergy fee.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we're not talking about because we're talking about this,
I know.
Which was the whole point of the parish attorney's office. This is and look, I may be wrong. This is not going to be a win for the parish attorney's office. I don't know about the fee movement. I'm not going to call it a slush fund because whether or not it's a slush fund or not remains to be seen, right? Whether or not that lawsuit has legal teeth to it or not, will get litigated out.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're talking about, what I talked about with WAFB yesterday, what I'm talking about with you today, is we're talking about Woody Jenkins and his publication.
Right.
And we're talking about constitutional law.
Mm. Yeah, as opposed to talking about the issue that should be at hand.
Does he have to burn money to defend this? He's not a party to the suit. So he could come in and say,
no, he doesn't have to.
He's not going to have to burn a penny to defend this.
Yeah.
I mean, you think he knows any lawyers?
He knows all the lawyers.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
and look, Franz Borghardt, while one of the premier criminal defense attorneys in the state of Louisiana, I would go and defend this. I think he has a good argument, and I would go defend this because I do think that it's an improper motion in terms of the violation of his constitutional rights as press.
Yeah.
Even if I think that his press is not something that I want to necessarily have on my coffee table.
So,
and you know how conservative I am.
Oh, good Lord.
Dude, I live in the...
We have 2 minutes left.
I live in the best of worlds. My liberal friends say I'm conservative. My conservative friends say I'm liberal.
Yeah.
I'm moderate.
Yes, I'm one of your conservative friends. And people tell me I'm too liberal. So
really?
Oh, daily. Here's the follow-up though, okay? And you talk about what it's going to spark. For me, what it's going to spark is another round of the exact same interview I had with multiple Metro Council members when this Entergy fee first happened. Come back in here, sit down and say, tell me why what you're doing is above board.
Was the timing good? We just had an indictment.
We got a minute and a half left. I didn't know if we were going to get down this path.
I'll stick around for the break too. We have just had an indictment on public corruption.
I know, by a Metro Council member.
Ugh. Is it criminal what's going on? No, they voted. I think that they have a strong argument for they voted, and it's not the quote unquote slush fund. The criminal nature of the slush fund is spurious at best. It's thin. That's thin.
Okay.
I don't work as a criminal defense attorney. I don't think, I may be representing Jennifer Rocca at some point. I'm not worried about that. Shout out to Jennifer Rocca. She can do much better than me. Point is, representation wise. Point is bad timing by the parish attorney's office.
That's okay. And that's another question. So yeah, we're coming up on news, traffic, weather. I tell you what, we're going to pivot next hour just a little bit to squeeze everything because I do want to address that before Franz gets out of here. So you stick around for 6 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to go news, traffic, weather, top stories and trending. And then we'll hit Franz again on the way out, and then we'll pick back up. So we're heads up 7 o'clock here at Talk 107.3 FM. We got now we got 2 guests next hour. Franz is sticking around. Central's Mayor Wade Evans is going to join us next hour as well.
Ironic. I want my own paper. Can we do a paper? Can you and I do a paper? Let's you and I do a paper.
Printed publications are losers. And they just are.
I'm frankly surprised it's not all digital for him now. What's the cost of making that paper?
Oh, it's negligible for him.
Okay, fair enough.
Probably bought a printing press off of eBay or some shit. You know?
It's a free newspaper, Keith tells us.
Yeah, it's free.
So how does he make money? Advertisements?
Advertisers, yeah.
I wonder if he let the Borghardt law firm advertise in the central.
Your checks don't bounce.
My checks don't typically bounce.
Yeah. Then I'm sure he would take your money.
I pay cash
because he is just as big.
Executive whore.
So here's the part we didn't get to. Kill all the mics, please.
Private.
What was the? Restate the question that we're coming back in with after top stories and trending.
Bad timing. Is this bad timing?
Oh. How long do we have?
Gosh, like 3 minutes left. Here.
Are you still available?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they're not available anymore.
I'm a forward you yesterday's PM news call, and during the next break, I'll chop them out.
Talk 107.3 weather. Shower activity will clear up as we progress throughout the morning.
Keith, I can't do that.
What?
So you should share with the whole class, Brian.
No, I did that enough up in Washington, D.C. and got myself in a ton of trouble. Guys, like I there's nothing I won't say in person, but
I mean, works out for me. I just say stuff. And you know who gave me a hug yesterday? Former Judge Tiffany Foxworth. I saw her in court. She's practicing law. She gave me a big old hug. Said hello.
she gonna make amends step or what? Was she still in her military uniform?
No.
Was there sand from the Iraqi desert on it? By the way, one of my meals up in Washington, D.C., I was having dinner with a bunch of veterans. They were fucking loving me for ripping up for that. They take their stolen dollar very seriously. What?
We're just sitting here.
Okay. We got to bang out top stories and trending and then come right
I'm
back
shutting my mouth.
7:05, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pro studio in downtown Baton Rouge. 55 degrees to start off your 7 o'clock hour. Franz is sticking around. We're going to continue because there are 2 more questions to be answered. I believe it's just 2. 2 more questions to be answered. So here's what we're going to do. Let's bang out top stories and trending and then get right back into it. East Baton Rouge Metro Councilman Cleve Dunn testified at the 19th JDC on Tuesday in a long-running case to settle a dispute between him and his former neighbors that stems from a lawsuit over a pool cabana and fence that was built without permits, which his neighbors at the time alleged caused their home to flood way back in 2021. May of 2021, which if you'll recall, I believe there was a huge flood then anyway. One person was injured in Cameron Parish, south of Lake Charles, after a natural gas pipeline exploded yesterday morning. The operator of the pipeline was hurt, but the injuries were described as minor. State police were investigating the cause of the explosion. Clinton officials are set to discuss whether to discontinue the town's Mardi Gras parade after a shooting that injured 6 people just this past weekend's festivities began. Mayor Mark Kemp said that as of yesterday, no decision had been made, but he likes smaller parades, like little school ones, because too many gang members from outside of town come in for the big parades in Clinton. Endymion, Bacchus, Clinton. These are the big ones, y'all. State Senator Blake Miguez announced yesterday he's entering the race for Louisiana's 5th congressional district, seeking to replace Congresswoman Julia Letlow as she is moving into the Senate, or she's in the Senate race. By the way, Miguez was in that Senate race before. State Senator Blake Miguez is going to join us next Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. I've got him on the books. We've had some scheduling conflicts up until now, so hopefully that gets hammered out. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Julia Letlow is on the show today at 8:35. One day after Department of Corrections Secretary Gary Westcott criticized the reporting on the deaths at the Elaine Hunt Correctional Center, A 43-year-old inmate died at the Elaine Hunt Correctional Center yesterday. The Department of Public Safety and Corrections said the inmate was identified as Walter Lewis. At this time, the death is undetermined and an autopsy will be requested. Walter Lewis's death makes 18 since last September. All right, Breland, go.
The Pima County Sheriff says a ransom note was sent to a local Arizona news station following the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie.
So it's official now. I mean, we saw all kinds of evidence suggesting it was a kidnapping, and now this is 100% a kidnapping.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's just that whole thing with the ransom note. Why Savannah Guthrie? Why Nancy Guthrie? It's just all this is about to come out in the wash.
Are
eventually.
you a little bit surprised that Savannah Guthrie is her real name? Like, I'm always curious as to who has a stage name on a national level and who just rolls with their real name.
To be her caliber,
right?
I would have totally had a stage name. You know?
Yeah, but you don't start at her caliber. So
That's
when you're coming up,
all the reputation that she's built up would go away if you
it's a brand.
That's very true.
Totally.
Small, medium, large markets. Yep. The first events of the 2026 Winter Olympic Games get underway today ahead of Friday's opening ceremony.
Love it.
I do too.
What's your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
Bobsled.
Jamaican bobsledding.
Yep. And it's because of the movie. That's why I'm into it, because of the movie. Cool Runnings. Yeah.
Jamaica. And they have a bobsled.
Bobsled team.
Mine's curling.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. It would be biathlon, but I don't like biathlon's very like you cross country ski and then you shoot at a target. That's tough.
Going both ways.
That's pretty tough. You don't judge the athlon.
Franz.
I mean, biathlon.
Yeah. You cross country ski and then you shoot at a target.
I can't win him.
I know.
You're welcome, guys.
No.
Dave & Buster's has got a Valentine's promotion that's going viral. They have 5 $15,000 engagement rings that will be available as prizes in claw machines, but only at select locations. It costs about $20 to play.
Okay, so I'm assuming you could see that the ring is one of the prizes.
I would hope so. What, with the little case open?
Yeah. Or either with the case open or like at least you know the ring, like you see the box that the ring is in or something.
Right.
Because otherwise you're just fishing in a Dave & Buster's claw machine. Which, by the way, can we all agree the claw machine is the worst arcade feature there is?
It is.
Like, there's always one person who has it figured out and the rest of the world just has to sit by and watch.
I'm always that person that gets the ear from the animal and then it just drops halfway mid.
Right.
I've never figured it out.
Right. And meanwhile, like the prizes in claw machines, it's not like the old days with I'm going to do a stuffed animal. It's like, I'm going to get an iPhone and now a 3-carat ring.
Right? Back in our day, they had like a little dollar.
Just fly the kids to Vegas. This is a crap stable, guys.
Right.
These are dice.
Shout out Dave & Buster's. The number of dudes who are going to roid rage on these machines is incalculable.
I know.
I think it's going to backfire. I think guys are not going to take dates to Dave & Buster's
just in case
to avoid that ring.
Oh, no. You go to Dave & Buster's first for the recon. You go to Dave & Buster's with okay, I've got $500 in my pocket. I've got $500 worth of 20s in my pocket. I'm going fishing for this ring. If I'm out, I'm out.
Don't even get me started on the diamond market.
Right.
Artificial markets.
Right.
See, if I had $500, I'd rather go to the casino and play blackjack, not go
but turning 500 into 15,000.
Yeah, I see your point.
That's a lot of blackjack.
I mean, at least if I'm at the dang claw machine, are they going to come and give me a free drink?
You go play Texas Hold'em to turn that in?
Right.
Teddy KGB in the back room. Pay that man his money.
Oreo cookie. Listens to the Oreo cookie.
Wow. Rounders was a deep cut right there. I didn't see that whole bit ending with Rounders. All right. Before we take our break, Franz stuck around for a little while. We'll push the break back because there's a bigger question to be asked here. If you're just tuning in, if you hit in the car at 7 o'clock, we do Legally Served in our 6 o'clock hour here on Wednesdays. We're talking with Franz about this East Baton Rouge parish attorney In response to a lawsuit over the Entergy fees that the Metro Council is collecting, the parish attorney has filed a motion for a protective order that is not yet enforceable because the judge has not signed it. In the motion, the parish attorney alleges Jenkins, quote, is actively trying to prejudice any potential jurors against defendants prior to the trial and preventing defendants from a fair trial. One of the things that we were talking about, Franz, and this is the question we need to get to here, the timing of the whole thing.
So law, like sports, is often about the timing. When do you do things? Why do you do things? Our city right now is facing a couple of different things. One, a large scale public corruption indictment from the AG's office that will, I think, eventually turn into a RICO case.
Hang on. It is not large scale yet.
It's multiple defendants.
It's okay, but like only one of those defendants on the Metro Council.
How many do you need for it to be large scale?
Only one of those defendants is an elected official, and the amounts that are involved are not very big.
My prediction, it will be racketeering at some point.
I agree with you completely, but as of now.
Okay, so you have that. You have a failed tax proposal because we don't have, because we don't have enough money. Perfect storm to not necessarily do this motion about the slush fund, because the adverse effect of this motion is it puts it back in the press. I think strategically it was done to diffuse Woody Jenkins and to say, hey, we see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sees what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We know what you're doing. But I think it may have the opposite effect of this just Baton Rouge doing Baton Rouge.
Let me give further recap for those who just joined us. Okay. In 2024, the Metro Council approved an ordinance to divert some money from Entergy bills back into each council district. About $100,000 goes back to each district. This was all done, and we talked to multiple Metro Council members while this was going on to talk about this being above board, the legality of it, the usage of it, how these funds would be applied, and how much of the gap it's going to pick up. So that's the money that's in question, and the lawsuit was filed by a former Metro Council member over it.
If I'm Woody Jenkins,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to use an analogy that will become very, very clear to everyone. Woody Jenkins is turning on a light. And when you turn on a light in a dirty room, what happens? The cockroaches scatter. And that is going to be the argument by Woody Jenkins. Look, I'm reporting about the very thing that's going on in our city, this public corruption, this slush fund. And what is the city trying to do? Turn the lights off. That would be my argument.
No. Okay, see, this is where we run into problems. The city is not. The parish attorney is. But you got multiple entities here that are working from different angles.
Well, then you need to have some city officials speaking up saying, hey, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that because who represents the city of Baton Rouge?
Well, the parish attorney.
That's their lawyer.
Right. So timing.
Are we dealing with cockroaches scattering?
No, we are not. I don't think so. I know.
It's like chess. There's some serious chess going on right now.
Yeah.
Publicly.
Yeah.
I like it. The strategist in me loves it. The citizen of Baton Rouge in me is like, oh, get it together, guys. What are you doing? I know that's not really my realm for being on here. But from a law standpoint, you got some good lawyering coming up.
All right. Well, and then that's where we're going to leave it. So I appreciate you sticking around.
Bye, guys.
He's attorney Franz Borghardt. We do legally served. If you're just tuning in, we do legally served at 6:25 every Wednesday.
Bonus.
Yeah, this was bonus. So always appreciate it. 716 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Got a quick break coming up. On the back end of that break, let's talk about the U.S. Senate race. Let's talk about the 5th Congressional District race. Before we take our break, though, let me remind you about the 5-Star Printing and Signs. If you're in that 5th Congressional District race or you're in that Senate race, you need to call Danny at 271-4096. Danny Paley and 5-Star Printing and Signs, 271-4096. Of course, it's 225. We're not going to try to farm you out to some big box store, something national that is not going to care about attention to detail, that is not going to care about you or your campaign, that is not going to care about results. They're just going to care about getting the job done and getting paid. Danny puts your campaign on his shoulders and says, here's the product. Here's the yard signs. Here's the big old signs. You want to talk door hangers. You want to talk brochures. You want to talk mailers. He has got you covered. 225-271-4096. All right, is Adobe off?
For 10 years, smoking 2 packs a day, and if they are currently smoking or have quit within the last 15 years, cut 5. We have less than 20%. Cut 6.
You want to say the Migas 1, Migas 2, Migas 3?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Woody's going to be at the Rotary meeting today. And I'm going to have to deal with this shit.
Want me to turn the mic on?
Please. $720. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Central's Mayor Wade Evans coming up about 10 minutes from right now. Right now, though, I want to dive in on this. We got 10 minutes to cover this. I think I can get this done. Oh. There's a new poll out. You heard about the news at the bottom of the hour last hour. There's a new poll out that finds Congresswoman Julia Letlow as the preferred choice of Republican primary voters. The new poll survey, it's a survey of 600 voters. It was conducted by Greg Rigmer. It finds Letlow getting a 27% of the vote, incumbent Bill Cassidy getting 21%. Our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network, they spoke with lobbyist Alton Ashey, who paid for the poll, cut 7.
I think this poll has confirmed what we had been hearing, and that Senator Cassidy has issues in getting reelected.
It appears that way right now, and I don't dispute that because the numbers don't lie. Now, it is important to note these are 600 voters out of a state that has a lot more than that. Cassidy's campaign has another poll that was conducted by Republican firm Public Opinion Strategies. That poll shows Cassidy getting 32% of the Republican primary vote to Julia Letlow's 21%. Cassidy says this race is about who has delivered for Louisiana. Cut
Who's
8,
worked with this president and other presidents on things like hot fentanyl, the Educational Choice for Children's Act, and other things.
And that's the lane he needs to be in right now. By the way, back to the Rigmer survey, it shows Letlow just trouncing Cassidy 57-22 in a head-to-head matchup between just the two. 57-22 is a serious gap. The survey also finds that only 22% of Republican primary voters believe Cassidy deserves re-election. Ashey, who's been around Louisiana politics for decades, says President Trump's endorsement of Letlow is a big factor in this. Cut 9.
With the president's endorsement of her in a closed primary system, I just don't see anybody overcoming that.
By the way, worth noting in our news partners of the Louisiana Radio Network do note this. Ashley had organized fundraisers for both Letlow and Governor Landry during Washington Mardi Gras. But in talking about this particular story, when you look at the numbers, yeah, Cassidy has a lot of ground to make up in the runoff. Everything out there is showing this as a 1-2 race between Letlow and Cassidy. Everyone else dropping off, which, by the way, is why you saw Miguez drop out and move over to the 5th Congressional District race. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But John Fleming's dropped off a good bit. Kathy Seiden out of Covington or Mandeville, Kathy Seiden from the North Shore, she's bailed on the race as well. Julie Emerson last week also dropped, or was it the week before, dropped out of the moment Julia Letlow got in, Julie Emerson got out. Her path to victory dissolved very, very quickly. Eric Scrametta, I think, is still in this thing. But what we're seeing right now is as the numbers start to become more real, as the numbers start to get a little bit closer to our primary, we're seeing it turn more and more towards, people making pragmatic choices, people starting to determine, okay, is the juice going to be worth the squeeze to stay in it? And if I'm Bill Cassidy right now, and I'm digging I had a press release here from, give me just a minute. I'm moved off, had this all set and ready to go, and then I moved off of it. Okay. If I'm Bill Cassidy and I'm out there talking about doing the job, and that's the only thing I'm talking about is doing the job. You hear that spot running, talking about liberal Letlow. That's not Cassidy. That's a PAC. That's important to note. But I'm not worried about any of that. All I'm talking about, if I'm Bill Cassidy, all I'm talking about is me doing the job that I was hired to do, me doing the job that I was elected and reelected to do. All I'm doing is I'm going into Jefferson Parish and I'm saying, hey, Jefferson Parish, just yesterday, it was announced that $8 million is going to provide federal support for the West Bank Rail Alignment Project to improve freight mobility and regional transportation efficiency. If I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm going to the city of Lafayette and I'm saying just yesterday, $7.5 million worth of funding is going to provide federal support for Johnston Street safety mitigation. If I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm going to Thibodaux and I'm saying just yesterday, $6.5 million is going to go to Nicholls State University for the development of an engineering workforce development center. Talking about that workforce pipeline, that talent pipeline that has been such a hot topic. If I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm going into Ascension Parish and saying just yesterday, $6 million was approved to provide federal support for the Airline Highway Raising Project to reduce flood risk. Those are real life dollars and real life solutions to real life problems. If I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm moving far away from political tete-a-tete and I'm moving into I'm the guy doing the job. I don't care about endorsements from Donald Trump because I'm already working with Donald Trump. See this paper that I have written out? That's his signature at the bottom of my work. That's the only thing I'm concerned with if I'm Bill Cassidy. If I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm going to the city of Covington and saying just yesterday, $5 million worth of funding going to provide federal support for the Highway 190 widening project. With, if you're from the North Shore, you know how important it is. Right here in East Baton Rouge Parish, or the city of Baton Rouge and East Baton Rouge Parish, just yesterday, $5 million worth of funding to provide federal support for a canal retrofit project to include drainage and flood protection. City of St. George, how about Burbank Drive safety improvements? Another $2 million headed that way. Everywhere you turn, Senator Bill Cassidy is doing his job right now. And that's the only, or if I'm Bill Cassidy, I'm saying everywhere you turn, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see results in the manner of representation already on the Hill. I'm not playing politics right now. And I know you can't avoid politics in a political race. I get that. But I would make it all about the hard numbers and the job he's been doing rather than dancing around who's more liberal. Because if you hear that spot, it actually says that Julia Letlow has the most liberal voting record of the Republicans in Louisiana in the House. Boy, that's a rough distinction right there. That is a rough. Do you have the cut still from yesterday, Breland? I pull it up.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just
there are 4 Louisiana Republicans in the U.S. House. She came in 4th out of those. But if I hear that verbiage, my immediate question is, okay, well, what's your voting record in the Senate? And now let's do a side-by-side comparison. I don't think it's difficult to finish 4th in a race of conservatism between Clay Higgins, Steve Scalise, Mike Johnson, and Julia Letlow. You're talking about an all-star lineup of conservatism right there. So if I'm Cassidy, I'm running strictly on resume. Strictly on resume. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, one of the names that dropped out of the Senate race and moved over to the 5th Congressional District race, we learned this yesterday, State Senator Blake Miguez is going to move over to the congressional race. This is... I'm not sure where I'm at on this because I really, really like Blake Miguez. And I really, really like a handful of other candidates in this race as well. And he is swinging from his heels to move from one to the other here. No, you do not have to live in the 5th Congressional District to run for the 5th Congressional District. But when you've got already 2 Republicans in the capital city between, a veteran state senator and Dixon McMakin, who hustles his you-know-what off, when you're looking for name recognition in an entire district and you're going up, let's just stick with Dixon for a second. Head-to-head, who's going to know who better in the 5th Congressional District? The state senator from Lafayette or the voice of Tiger Stadium? He's also late getting to the game when you've had Rick Edmonds and Dixon McMakin already boots on the ground. But Miguez moved over because LRN, Louisiana Radio Network, they talked with political analyst Bernie Pincinat, said after President Trump endorsed Julia Letlow last month, Miguez could see the writing on the wall. Hit that.
He was literally pushed out of the race by Julia Letlow, so the next best option for him was to qualify and run for her seat.
What was it, though? We'll pick that conversation up later. Here's news.
Hey, Wade, we'll be coming to you in about 2 minutes, okay? Okay, thank you.
That is going to be the argument. Different angle. You're not. This is serious. You got to be a lawyer. If you just turn it in, we do legally serve at 625 every Wednesday. So, yeah, this is a bonus. So, always appreciate it. Turn it in. We do. So, always appreciate it. It's going to be the argument to turn the lights on. Now, it will become very, very clear to everyone. Woody Jenkins is turning on. It's right. Yeah, because we don't have enough money. Perfect storm does not necessarily. Point is, representation. Here's the follow-up, though. Okay. I think he has a good argument, right? Whether or not that has legal text. That is, there is a very, very
even if it's in print, even if it's in a newspaper, what's the line that can't be done? That's where we're going to pick it up. He's Franz Borghardt. We usually serve about this time every week, as long as we're heading to the break. You say no, you can't say that. That's where we're going to pick it up. Is there a line that can be crossed that, even if it's in print, even if it's in a newspaper, what's the line that can't be done? That's where we're going to pick it up. He's Franz Borghardt. We usually serve about this time every week. That can be crossed, print. What's the line? We're going to pick it up. He's Franz Borghardt. We usually time every week, as long as we're heading to the break. I was asking Franz this question. Where's the line? Where's the line? If I put in print that the Metro Council, long as we're heading to the break, well, shit. Who was I just talking about at the zoo? That's the problem when you cross the streams of Willie Jenkins. Just added me on LinkedIn. Like, I was asking Franz this question. Where's the line? Question. Where's the line? Question. Where's How much time do we have? How much time do I have?
Probably like 2 minutes.
What's the line that can't be done? That's where we're going to pick it up. He's Franz Borghardt. We serve about this time every week. Where's the line? Where's the line? If I put in print that the Metro Council is running a slush fund, I'm saying the Metro Council is doing something illegal. If I put in print, where's the line? Where's the line? Where's the line? If I put in print, here's the line. Where's the line? If I put in print that the Metro Council is running a slush fund, I'm saying the Metro. What do you think it's been? Right? You get to be very flexible.
Especially in the afternoon and evening. We're here, and we saw yesterday as those winds will be flipping out more, instead of being in the 70s, high temperatures in the top about 57 degrees. Overnight, it's going to be pretty cold once again. Low temperatures getting really close to freezing at 33 degrees. Thursday, high temperature of 54 under sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Rogers with your storm station forecast, WBRZ Channel 2.
James Golden.
.736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to pivot over to something that's actually going on in the city right now. The Louisiana Municipal Association is having their meeting, and Central's Mayor Wade Evans is kind of a big part of that. He joins us right now. Wade, welcome back, man. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. Good morning, and I'm wonderful this morning. A little chilly, a little rainy out here, but we're getting ready to go start day 2 of the LMA Midwinter Convention here in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
The LMA is the Louisiana Municipal Association. This year, we're celebrating our 100th year as an association. We started as a group to educate, advocate, and support local governments. And I'm excited to be a part of it because my goal is to bring good government to every city, parish, village, town in the state of Louisiana.
So, talk to me a little bit about that mission, though, because when you talk about a municipal association, you're talking about towns and cities of varied sizes. So, how does one make sure they're properly, advocated for?
Well, that's the beauty of it. The LMA, we have a team of lobbyists, if you will, to help lobby for every city. Many of our issues cross over all the lines. It doesn't matter what size your city is. Most cities have the same problems. You just have to scale up or down to deal with it. A good example is Representative Marcel has pre-filed a bill to try to get the cities of Central, Baker, Zachary, St. George to pay more for the constitutional offices when it's really a parish issue. And she filed it as a local bill. And that's something, where the LMA, I would push the LMA to get involved, because what happens in one parish as a local bill could affect other parishes and other municipalities throughout the state. That's the type of things that LMA is good for, along with educating newly elected officials. We have legislation we're working on to put a mandate on newly elected mayors to learn how to do their job. Not go in thinking you know everything, but go in and get trained on how to do the job right, so you don't end up with contract issues or audit findings and issues like you had with Metro Councilman Dunn in Baton Rouge. It's important that the people we elect to serve are educated on how to do the job right and not get themselves in trouble.
What are a few of the more common items that come up when y'all get together?
Well, one of the things, we have a shortage of wastewater operators in the state. So all these municipalities that have sewer systems, we know that there's going to be a crisis if we don't train more wastewater operators. Similarly, we have building official shortage. 20 years ago, you had building officials, but now a lot of the building officials who do inspections on homes, which are required to have insurance companies come into your area to write policies, you have to have proper building code and inspection. So there's a shortage of building officials and building inspectors. So that's something that, we want to see increase, and the LMA helped advocate and work with the community colleges and learning institutions to implement training for those things. We see the problems, and that's problems that cross all boundaries. Similarly, how do you manage public works? How do you manage certain things? One of the issues you have is, over the years, you've had municipalities not have water meters, and they just charged a flat fee for water, and then they go put in meters and they try to charge the same fee, and they're losing money. And so we want to see municipalities that are in the business of delivering service, deliver that service at the highest capacity, but not in a subsidized way. It doesn't make sense. In business, you don't do it like that. And so the goal is to help local government run more efficiently so they can then better serve their taxpayers. And that's one of the big things that the LMA offers, as well as, many municipalities have very strange insurance needs where regular insurance carriers won't cover them. So we have a arm of the LMA that was started back in the 80s called risk management. And risk management is an underwriter that writes insurance for municipalities and for small villages and police departments and these types of things that just couldn't get coverage through Liberty Mutual or one of the larger carriers. And so we have LMATS. LMATS is a clearinghouse for surplus property, and it's also a place that small cities and villages can go. Even Baton Rouge, I tried to encourage the mayor's team to utilize LMATS for purchase and disposal of property, because the city parish budget has a line item for that. It's a few $1 million. LMATS will do it. It won't cost the city anything. LMATS will do it. The buyer pays a premium. And so it's services that are offered to government that doesn't cost the government. It just comes with their memberships in the LMA.
We're talking with Central's Mayor Wade Evans, the LMA convention, Louisiana Municipal Association LMA convention going on right now in Baton Rouge, or be picking back up again. I believe at 8 o'clock is when they'll open doors back up. Mayor Evans, one of the I was scrolling through the agenda yesterday, and one of the items that really caught my eye, the biggest, was a session from 4 to 5 yesterday where the title was More with Less. I think this is one of those areas where every city, every town, every village can probably get on board saying, yes, I need to learn more. Give me a breakdown of what that one was all about.
I was at another. I wasn't at that meeting.
All right,
and I'm sorry, but look, I think the idea, more with less, you can apply it to government, and the issue is we have to continue to provide more, but the taxpayers are becoming very aware that our tax dollars are fleeting, if you will, because they go to the grocery store and their dollars are fleeting. And so government's role needs to shift and understand that while we provide services, we have to quit asking for more. We have to learn how to do it more efficiently, more effectively. And that opportunity exists across the state through every town and village to scrutinize the operation and do more with less, because that's the goal. We have to do more with less in our households now, and so our government should follow suit.
A couple of things on today's agenda that I wanted to just kind of ask you about to preview a little bit. FEMA reorganization. You got Brett Krieger and Jay Grimes to be talking on this one. This is one where I think it doesn't matter what corner of the state you're in, you're going to be dialed in and paying attention.
Yeah, and the problem is there's so many unanswered questions on the FEMA reorg right now. There was a discussion early on about kicking it back to the states and GOSEP, but then you have the federal flood insurance program, and how are we going to manage that at a state level when you have so many different requirements? So there's still a lot of unanswered questions on how that's going to go. I think if you get rid of FEMA, you cut a ton of bureaucracy out of the way. We have had, the city of Central was approved for a FEMA BRIC grant 3 years ago, and the Trump administration tried to put a stop to it. The Supreme Court overturned that. It shouldn't be that difficult to get our money. And I jokingly talk about how government has implemented these protections for waste, fraud, and abuse, but the things that were implemented cost us exponentially more than we were losing in waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think it goes back to, when you give, if you're going to give somebody something as a grant, then let them do it, let them show you. And if they screw it up, then blacklist them, if you will, and they can't get anything else, and then investigate them. But we go through this litany of protections before you can even implement the grant. And what happens is you end up losing the value of the grant because of inflation throughout the process. And of course, the government spends hundreds of millions of dollars managing these projects that are very ineffectively managed. So I'm hoping that the FEMA reorg conversation will continue. I don't see it happening because there's too many moving parts for it to happen. And I don't think GOSEP at the state level has enough answers yet, because we haven't been able to get enough answers from them either.
But the thing is, if we don't have answers yet, are we ever going to get them? I mean, we've danced enough with FEMA, or we've been to enough dances with FEMA to know every move they've got. I mean, and there's still people looking for money left over from Gustav and Ike.
Yeah, look, I think the parish still hasn't closed out from Andrew, maybe. I mean, it's, and don't quote me on that, but I know it takes years to close out some of these events, which that to me is crazy. I mean, they require us to have our information. Now, the city of Central, our first major event was the ice storm when I first came in, and we were able to get that closed out rather quickly, but we did most of it ourselves, and we worked directly with the FEMA guy through GOSEP. But when you deal with bigger agencies, you've got so much paperwork, and so it's become such a monotonous process that you spend more time trying to get the reimbursements, and it costs you more money to get the reimbursements, and they ultimately reimburse you for that. But again, it's not money that's put back in the streets. It's money that's spent on time managing a program.
Yeah, and but it's got to be. There's got to be a better way. I don't know how when this thing is so big, so like it's not a monolith because there's so many different parts, but so big and intertwined with so many different agencies up and down the line. I don't know how you just how you reduce
Well,
to the common denominator.
it starts at the local level. So it starts at the city of Central, the city of Baker, the city of Zachary. It starts there.
Mm-hmm.
And the key is you elect good people who do the job right. And when you do that, you take away the need for all the check, the stop gaps in the middle.
Yeah.
When the federal government says, okay, city of Central, here's $40 million, and the city of Central takes that $40 million and does the right thing with it, then the city of Central should get on a different list and say, okay, they have a proven track record. But right now we're treating everybody the same. And so the goal of the LMA with our education component is to train leaders of cities how to do it right. So you have more government doing it the right way. Therefore, you don't need all the protections in place.
Got Central's Mayor Wade Evans with us, talking about the LMA convention going on right now. I believe it's over at the Crown Plaza. Actually, Mayor Evans, can I get you to hang on for just a second? Because there's a few more, tidbits we want to cover, but we got a break coming up. Can I get you to hang through the break?
I'll be happy to, Brian.
Excellent. Let me drop you back on hold real quick. As we walk up the break, let me remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank, landmarkbankla.com. Oh, talking about, individual communities with the LMA. That's what Landmark Bank is all about. They are a community bank, have been a community bank since 1897. Why is a community bank different? Because you don't get lost in the shuffle. You're not a number, you're a name. You're not an account, you're a person. And you're going to see your banker in line at the grocery store, working out of the gym, in line at carpool. You're going to have a banker who can sit down with you, talk about where you want to be 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what it's going to take to get you there, whether you're talking about borrowing or investing or saving or on the business side. Well, having a banker, we all learned during COVID, was unbelievably important. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com. Hey, Wade. Was there anything in particular you wanted to hit on before getting out? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to touch on the clearing blighted property part, because that's going to transfer over to better as well. That's coming up 1:30 this afternoon, I think it is. Yeah. Who is? This says Neil T. Irwin and the Honorable Ronnie Walker. Rusty. Okay. Well, yeah, and we're learning more and more about it. Had Jen Rock on while I was up in DC. We just, the more we learn about it, the more like we can accelerate it here. So we'll talk. Okay. Well, yeah. That's the different council members would have different takes on that, because there are council members that just want to turn everything into a community center. Yeah. Will do. All right, let me drop you right back on hold. Thanks, Dave. I think the messages have stopped. No. To me personally, from the fallout with Franz. 7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along, going right back to the hotline. Central's Mayor Wade Evans is on with us. The LMA convention, the Louisiana Municipal Association convention, going on yesterday and today. Going to be a lot happening over at the Crown Plaza. And these are things that like apply on a one-to-one value in real life. Mayor Evans, thank you for holding through the break there. There were two other topics I wanted to get to before we get out of here. First of all, what's the Lieutenant Governor going to talk about as the keynote?
I would imagine he's going to talk about public-private partnerships and how we have managed to utilize that model to turn state parks into, I don't want to say profit generators, but we have state parks that are making money, returning profit to the state. Yeah. And what it is, it's a great model. It's how Central operates its government through a public-private partnership. And it gives the Lieutenant Governor opportunity to turn our parks into something great by partnering with businesses. So he'll talk about that. He'll talk about the litter program. We have cleaned this state up, no matter what people think. And the goal is to get trash, not from your car to the street, but from your car to a bag in your car to then empty it into a garbage receptacle. So the next big step I know the Lieutenant Governor's pushing is clean waterways. We've got to clean. If we keep the roads and ditches clean, that'll keep our waterways clean. But we have Keep Louisiana Beautiful that he manages. I can tell you he's an amazing guy. I've really thought about if I wanted to run statewide for something, Lieutenant Governor is the best job in the whole state because you get to travel around, eat, and hang out with people and celebrate.
You celebrate. Your job is to celebrate Louisiana and convince others why they should as well. It's a fantastic job. Only downside of the job is like he's been doing a very good job at it. So he's kind of raised the bar a little bit to be sure.
Yeah, definitely. I was at an event yesterday where he was speaking, and that's what I was thinking. I mean, Billy has done such a fabulous job, and the model that he's created. It's often when I talk about Central, the goal when you're serving is to create a system that's so good that as long as the person that comes in don't mess it up, it can keep going.
Yeah.
And he's done that. And I commend him. He's done an amazing job in that office.
I've got just a couple minutes left with Central's Mayor Wade Evans. There will be a session on clearing blighted property this afternoon. This is one that I think a lot of folks in EBR are going to be dialed into too.
Yeah, look, so many communities in Louisiana are what they call Larson Act communities, and the Larson Act is a defining document for cities on how to run. It's not a home rule charter. It's just a set of laws on how to run your city. And in Larson Act communities, in most home rule charters, the mayor, it's government. Okay, you got three branches. You've got the executive branch, who's charged with enforcing the laws. You've got the not necessarily enforcing, but upholding the law. You've got the legislative branch, which would be your council or alderman. And then you've got your judicial in the areas where you have a court or a mayor's court. And so blighted properties are usually part of a civil code, which is the mayor's job to uphold. And blighted property is difficult. And in Baton Rouge, we've seen over the years the blighted property issue where you have council members that tend to get in the way of getting it done. And because it's an emotional thing. But at some point, look, it's the hardest job of a mayor to uphold civil codes when it comes to blight, because a lot of times it involves the fact that people don't have money or they have succession problems or probate issues, or look, some people have mental disorders that are unfortunate, that are hoarders, and you have to uphold the law though, and it's very difficult because it gets into the emotional side of things.
Yep. I could keep going, but this is where we got to cut it because we're all out of time. He's Central Mayor Wade Evans. We'll get you on. We'll get you on again real soon for kind of a recap. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Always. Talk to you soon. It's heads up 8 o'clock. Here comes news. Oh, the caffeine's starting to wear off already, but the congestion's still there. No, Advil doesn't do shit. No, the caffeine got rid of the headache. It's just the congestion. All right, guys. So As the father from A Christmas Story said, it's a major award. Y'all may have seen it when I was up at Washington Mardi Gras, but I am officially a Louisiana storyteller. Look what Susan Bourgeois gave me.
Look how pretty.
Yeah.
That's what you were showing me on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Let me look. Is it heavy?
Yes. Well, I mean, like.
Oh gosh, Brian, this is beautiful.
So apparently, there's 1,500 of them for Louisiana storytellers statewide. So, I know. She gave me one. She gave me one on air last week.
You can't really see it; it's kind of blurry. But look how pretty! It says Louisiana storyteller, and it has the pelican.
Now flip it over and see what it says on the other side.
I am Louisiana now. Let's
Yeah.
see. Look how pretty, y'all.
I know. I'm debating whether or not I don't think I want that in the because I have other awards up here, but like I think it's gonna go on my desk.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would have cried.
My mom did.
Aw. Did Christy cry?
No. No, that is barely the level of expectation. I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. Not really. Oh shit. All right. I'm doing a flight of stairs real quick just to keep the blood flowing.
You come back. He went run a flight. He's not feeling well. He's trying to wake up. Yeah. He's stuffy.
I would imagine he's going to talk about public-private partnership and how we have managed to utilize that model, city,
There he is.
parish, village, town. Like you had with veteran carriers on cover. So we have a scrutinize the operation and do more with that because that's the goal. We have to see different requirements.
Of this year?
Yes.
They still around?
Yes. Give somebody something as a grant.
Rich,
Let them do it.
you were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. When I met you.
Association, talk to me a little bit about the various lobbyists. Many problems that we scale up or down with a parish issue.
After
They should follow the local bill, and that's the local bill.
So, you know, every time we
Well, a lot of those inspectors. So
it's like they're auditioning in Paris.
We want to see.
franchise.
Here's
Here's
what
two
we
that really
Still have to close. So,
so big, yeah, so like,
this is not a model, but
I mean, what to moved to San Antonio. So big. Oh, dude, I did bits on this. Like, you know what? I remember after the first game here. I was mad. Yeah. I don't want to say profits. But yeah. People throw bottles. Yeah. First of all, 9 days later, on a one-to-one value in real life. Back to play. For holding up. Anyway, going on yesterday. So the other part of the story, Tagliabue, who was the lawyer back in the 60s, that worked, he was the lawyer that worked the what's it called when you can't have monopoly? Earl Long and Russell Long and Hill Hobbs were the two congressmen on the House side that got the NFL NFL merger.
Brian.
On a one-to-one value in real life.
He's running his mouth.
That's on me. That's on me. (806) Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way. I can't laugh when I'm this congested. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Broadcasting live from the 180 Pro studio in downtown Baton Rouge. We're starting your 8 o'clock hour off at 53 degrees in downtown. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. This hour, let's talk about the U.S. Senate race. Let's talk about the 5th Congressional District race. Might even talk a little bit about the petition to recall Mayor President Sid Edwards. Scott McKay. He's the founder and editor of the Hayride. Going to join us at 8:15. Also this hour, a little DC Current presented by LABI. Congresswoman Julia Letlow, who is a candidate in that Senate race, and Congresswoman Julia Letlow, who has the first attack ad out against her. We're going to talk with her at 8:35. Right now, though, we roll back the clock with this day in history.
I was about to fire up this day in history, Brian.
What, without me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm out in the hallway.
I know. I was like, Brian, now.
The conversation, we need to set up like a TMZ style camera out there. You know, TMZ used to do all that internet content where it's just like them huddled around. Yeah, we need that. That would be really, really good content.
Like put a camera where the door is. Love it.
No, out like by where the cabinets are and the little seating area and whatnot.
To where when you and Rich go out there. Yeah. Love it. All right.
We'd both be canceled immediately, but it would be really good.
It'd be fun. Yeah. All right. 1789, first U.S. electoral college. Can't talk today. Chooses George Washington as president and John Adams as vice president.
Very nice.
1861, Confederate Constitutional Convention meets for the first time and elects Jefferson Davis.
Really?
President of the Confederacy for the U.S. Civil War. Let's see. 1880, first Carnival Rex parade rolls with an official theme. It's called School Days.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes the first theme Mardi Gras parade in history, setting a tradition still used today.
Yeah.
1938, Adolf Hitler seizes control of the German armed forces and places Nazi officials in key positions.
Okay.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital holds a special place in my heart. 1962, the hospital opens in Memphis, Tennessee, funding for cancer fighting facility led by entertainer Danny Thomas.
You ever seen the facility?
I have.
You been there?
I've been there because I worked with another cluster where we were the St. Jude Radiothon affiliate. So they flew us all out there. When I mean I wept.
Oh.
I wept. I was able to walk through the halls.
Overtly impressive. Like everything they do. So my son, when he was in before school, when he was in daycare, his little buddy CJ had to go to CJ. Kid's a wrecking ball. He's a champion. Love him. He battled hard, comes back out the other side. But the folks at St. Jude make it absolutely,
Did you touch Danny Thomas's nose? Apparently, there's a tradition. Danny Thomas has a sculpture in St. Jude, and you can go up, touch his nose for, I believe it's good luck.
Okay.
Or whatever. I don't know. And it's a whole tradition. You take a picture by it. And it snowed the year I went.
We did not do that.
Oh. Lord. 1972, Louisiana legislator, our friends, authorizes development of the Pennington Biomedical Research Center.
No kidding.
Yeah. Had to throw that in for them. Let's see. 1987, U.S. President Reagan's veto of the Clean Water Act is overridden by Congress. In 1991, Alex Trebek becomes the first person to host 3 American game shows at the same time. It was Jeopardy, Classic Concentration, and You Tell the Truth.
Okay.
I never saw the last 2.
Oh,
Okay.
I remember Classic Concentration. Yeah.
Really? Okay. In 1995, Skip Bertman's Tigers entered the season as a national favorite and finished the job by winning the CWS. No easy thing. Later that year.
Wait, your This Day in History is about the opening of the baseball season? All right.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's weird that it would come up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they entered in as a national favorite into the baseball season that year.
All right.
Okay. 1997, O.J. Simpson found liable in the deaths of Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson in civil court action.
Yeah.
1998, Bill Gates gets a pie thrown in his face in Brussels, Belgium.
Okay.
I saw that. I was like, I got to throw it in. 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook from his Harvard dormitory room.
Correct.
Yeah. 2007, Sean Payton named AP NFL Coach of the Year. Fresh off taking the Saints to the NFC Championship in his first season, Payton wins the award and cements the cultural shift that eventually leads to the 2009 Super Bowl run.
Good stuff.
In 2015, Post Malone uploads his debut single, White Iverson, to a SoundCloud account.
Really?
And he becomes what we know today.
Yeah.
2020, radio personality Rush Limbaugh is presented the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Donald Trump during the State of the Union address.
Okay.
2021, U.S. President Joe Biden announces an end to U.S. support for the Saudi-led offensive in Yemen's civil war.
Okay.
That's all I got.
This day in 1974, Patty Hearst was kidnapped. We had this day in 1938. You had about Hitler, but it was also this day in 1938. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was premiered in theaters.
Whoa!
Yeah. And this day in 1927, the Sanger Theater opened in New Orleans.
Okay.
All right? So this is what Rich and I were talking about. Was the Sanger Theater opened on this day in 1927? But did you know that coming up this year, June 17th of this year, you're not gonna believe who's coming to the Sanger Theater?
The Lion King.
No.
Who?
Human League.
Okay.
Do you remember Human League?
My husband does because he talks about it. Oh,
Don't
he's
you
mentioned him
want me?
before.
Oh yeah, they're coming. The 80s 3-hit wonder Human League is coming.
Stop.
Yeah.
He's gonna want to go.
Yeah.
If he's hearing this, and I'm sure
By
he is,
the
he's
way,
gonna want to go.
Joining Human League at the Sanger on June. I kind of have to go to this. Soft Cell.
Come on, Brian.
Tainted Love.
Well, you and my husband can.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, birthdays. We got to move quick. Rosa Parks. She has a birthday. Let's see. Natalie, I can never say her last name. She has the famous song Torn back in the 90s.
Natalie Imbruglia.
There you go. Thank you. Gavin DeGraw has a birthday. Hunter Biden, son of U.S. President Joe Biden, has a birthday today. That's really all the notable ones I got. What about you?
Well, boxer Oscar De La Hoya, linebacker Lawrence Taylor, former Vice President Dan Quayle, Alice Cooper, Clint Black.
Clint Black.
Yeah. And from right here in Baton Rouge, gold medal gymnast Carly Patterson, born on this day in 1988.
Okay. Let's see. Notable deaths. God, I mean, the only one I can even see, Carl Albert. He was that politician who served as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. He passed away, unfortunately. I don't really have anything. You got anything, Brian?
No, we're good.
Okay. National Day today. National Thank a Mail Carrier Day. They do it out in the heat, the snow, the sleet.
Well, I tell you, we talked about St. Jude. It's also World Cancer Day.
Aww.
There we go. Is this day in history? We are due up for a quick break. On the backside of that break, we're going to dive into some politics with Scott McKay next. You need his number?
Hey, A-Bear. Bree Lynn. I took JP's place. Bree Lynn.
Who?
A-Bear. Somewhere else.
All right. You now have Scott's number.
Oh, we need to get a new drum up and out. That's old.
Yeah. On yesterday,
Cleo Carol.
things did like a flop. Things that like apply on a one-to-one value in real life. Barry, thanks for holding to the break there. There were two other topics I wanted to get to before you got here. First of all, what's the good number you talked about? I was mad.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, it's Breland, Talk 1073. Hey, I'm doing well. We'll come to you, gosh, in like a minute. Okay. All right.
Eight 17 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Time to talk a little politics. We're going to talk about the 5th congressional district race. We're going to talk about the U.S. Senate race. We welcome Scott McKay. He's the founder, the creator, the editor of the Hayride. Scott, welcome back, brother. How are you?
Well, thanks for having me. And let me apologize off the jump if I come off as a little snotty, because I was fine when it was 20 degrees outside, but this morning I woke up and I need to like go snort some Tabasco or something, because it's just the sinuses have decided to they're in full revolt today. So.
I honestly thought I was going to miss the post-Washington Mardi Gras crud. It hit me this morning as well. Woke up this morning with the sinuses.
It's not a crud so much as just I'm all stopped up and I can't. I haven't overcome it yet.
Okay.
But anyway,
well,
if I sound like Kermit the Frog this morning, then now you know the reason.
But I'm right there in that same boat with you. Okay, let's talk about the big news, or the latest big news. State Senator Blake Miguez was one of the first ones to, really say he was going to run for U.S. Senate against, saying without saying it. If you rewind the clock all the way back to 2024 Christmas time was when you started to see the hints of it. And now he's bailing, moving over to the 5th congressional district race. What were your immediate takeaways when you heard about it?
Well, my first take, and I said it on Facebook, is, look, I love Blake to death, but, him running in the 5th district is absurd. He's from ERAF,
right,
which is most certainly not in the 5th district. But the more I thought about it, it's like, let's not stand on too much ceremony here, because everything about all of this is absurd, right? The 5th district, if you go and look at the map, is absurd.
Yes.
It's like it's the district has Franklinton, Gonzales, Clinton, Lake Providence, and Monroe in it.
Yes.
Okay. So and Dixon McMakin was not in the district. He moved a few blocks away and now he is in the district. You have somebody who's running who doesn't even really live in the state, much less in the district, and he's running, and nobody has said anything. So if I'm Miguez, it's like, what's the difference? You know, it's like my company has a couple of places in Baton Rouge to do their stuff. He's owned property in Baton Rouge since like 1999. Went to LSU, went to Southern. Like he knows his way around Baton Rouge without Google Maps. So whatever, the more the merrier. Now,
yeah,
they're going to beat him up about that. My guess is, this week everyone's like, why is Miguez running in the fifth? He doesn't live in the fifth. 4 weeks from now, people are like, whatever, and it's not that big a deal anymore. And it's just one more item of absurdity that has pervaded Louisiana politics ever since Trump decided that he was going to back Julia Letlow, right? I mean, everything has, so that's like the asteroid that hit the moon and knocked it off its orbit. 2-3 weeks ago when that happened, and now nobody has a clue about any of this stuff anymore.
So let's I want to stick with the living in or being from Erath part of this, because not only does he not live in the district, but his phone number has the only area code in the state that is in the district.
Exactly. I'm sure that there's a 225 phone that will get you to Blake Miguez now.
Probably.
There may not have been one on Monday, but I'll bet that there's one now.
Probably. But you look at the polling, and we'll go with this Alton Ashey poll that the Advocate was reporting on. Blake Miguez was polling at 5% in the Senate race. This district, I mean, if there was any place in Louisiana where he needed to work on name recognition, it is the 5th Congressional District. He's moving from one race where he had name recognition within his own region to a race where he has 0.
Yeah, well, which is, $3.6 million in your war chest has properties in this regard, right? Like, that's an awful lot of money to run for Congress with. And so, you're going to see lots and lots of Blake Miguez ads with him wearing an LSU shirt and, trying to find, pictures of him with Jay Johnson and Lane Kiffin and Kim Mulkey. I mean, like, Blake's going to be more LSU than Dixon McMakin in the next couple of weeks.
Well,
and
I mean,
if that's even
you're talking
possible.
about the voice of Tiger Stadium, so I don't know that that's possible.
Exactly. If I'm Blake, I'm gonna make a hard run at that and let everybody get good and comfortable with Blake Miguez in purple and gold.
Well, and then you go from purple and gold to needing to I tell you, this one's a lot more probable. Is how much you're going to see Blake Miguez out there shooting with the Robertsons from Duck Dynasty.
Well, I'm guessing that will make an appearance ad nauseum. Although I was looking at numbers yesterday of registered Republicans by parish in this district.
Okay.
There's only like 17,000 registered Republicans in Washita Parish. It's like you would look, well, this is the Monroe district. It's like not. There's so few votes in the Republican primary in the North Louisiana part of this district. This thing is all East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and Tangipahoa Parish, pretty much.
Okay, so
that's where it's going to be. It's something like of the projected vote is like 87,000 in the Republican. It's like 60 of the 87 is projected to be Baton Rouge area.
When geographically it's such a small footprint. Geographically, it's such a small
where
footprint.
The people live.
Yeah, I mean it's when you look at the map, it just really exemplifies how stupid our congressional map is.
Well, and if it's any consolation, and it's not, the 6th district is even more absurd than the 5th district is.
More absurd, but with fewer parishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's just we're going to have to just roll with the punches. And then the other thing is, it's not guaranteed this is what the map looks like on election day.
Okay, so how big of a part of that is this? Because that to me affects everything.
Well, like if I'm Blake Miguez and people are grousing at me that, well, you don't live in the district. It's like, just wait. Like, you shouldn't be saying these declarative things because you don't know. That's kind of part of it is the Supreme Court at some point is going to come down and say, in all likelihood, yeah, we don't like your map, right? You need a new map. Either you draw it or, we'll have the court draw it or whatever, but your map sucks. And once that happens, who knows? Like, we have absolutely no idea what our congressional map's going to look like. So if I'm Miguez, it's like, don't bother me with trifles. I'm running for Congress.
Talk with Scott McKay from the Hayride about the 5th congressional district race. Let's talk about Dixon McMakin and Rick Edmonds for just a little bit, since they are the ones from Baton Rouge, and Baton Rouge seems to have the largest population center within this race, or the Baton Rouge area, I should say. Between those two, so these are two guys I've liked the entire time. Like, there are two guys I've liked the entire time. It looks like, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, Dixon's out there maybe he's just more present on social media, but he's out there to hustle.
Well, hustle is absolutely the best word to describe Dixon.
Well, by hustle, I don't mean it in a negative. I mean, he gets after it.
Well, I mean, Dixon is kind of and I don't want to make this come off as pejorative. Dixon's kind of a Matt Gatesy type of.
That's so not fair. There's no way that doesn't come off as pejorative. I don't mean it
in the way that people would yell and scream about Matt Gaetz. But Dixon is good, like Gaetz was, at the provocative piece of politics, right? Like, he says things that get attention. And where I'm going with this, Dixon brings the bill that makes NIL payments to college athletes exempt from the state income tax. All right. And everybody's like, well, that's a stupid bill. And it's like, well, it's not stupid if you want to get rid of the state income tax. He's making a point.
Right.
Right. Which is, well, why would we want to hurt LSU's ability to get really good players because we're taxing their NIL when Florida and Texas don't? And it's like, oh, okay. Right. Like, it's a stupid bill, but it makes a good point. Dixon does things like that, which is kind of like what Matt Gaetz would do when he was in Congress. And so he has that, and that's a difficult thing when you're running against somebody like that. It puts you in some difficult positions because you want to say that the guy, oh, this guy's not serious. Mm-hmm. And yet he makes a point that, like, well, why didn't you make that point? Right. And so, and I don't know how much this is going to confront Rick when those two are kind of in their own little primary, but Rick is a conventional Christian conservative, and Dixon is kind of a, Lane Kiffin-y, Matt Gatesy, stir it up kind of guy. So it's kind of a style, is it styles make fights?
Yes.
That's a really good example of styles make fights.
So, but at the same time, though, and Dixon is also out there championing a rewrite of the state constitution, which, I mean, that's a big ask. But it's also a very deliverable thing on the back end. That's not something that's just, there for headlines. That's there for legitimate reform of government.
Yeah. Well, and, the other thing is that there are some very, very well-heeled conservative donors in the state who've been begging for a brand new state constitution for a long time.
Yeah.
So if I'm Dixon and I want to run for Congress, hey, let me take up this bill for you guys. And I'm not saying that's why he's doing it. There's a whole lot of people that have been saying we need this for a long time, and good for Dixon to be the one to champion it. But it's not a wholly impractical thing that he's doing with this. It's a smart thing that he's doing with this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I would stick with that because it's like he could take a big swing, but he's also done a number of things, and more for you got to go back to the 2024 session to show where he had a stack of bills signed off by the governor that were all very pragmatic, very straightforward, that served his individual district.
Yeah. but then he also does the things that, and I'm not criticizing, I'm saying there's a certain part of politics that's about getting attention and focusing people's mindset on things that you want to get across. And Dixon is as good as anybody in the legislature at that stuff, which is a skill that translates to Congress. You know, and so I think Dixon fits that. He may not be ready to do it just yet. This may be a bit of a leap for him, but like he follows a line of people who are, you know, successful in Congress now. And so it's not implausible for him to get in. What's going to be fun is when those two guys start getting after each other.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be the remember the brawl from Anchorman?
Yeah,
that's gonna be the District 5 race.
You're gonna get that.
Yeah,
I'm waiting because Edmonds has this thing, right? So his day job is that he's the pastor of a church in Macomb, Mississippi.
Okay,
he lives in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Sundays he's in Macomb. And so, you know, if the issue of live in the district comes up.
Wait, hang on. Which, if you looked at geographically, Macomb, Mississippi is actually the center of District 5.
Yeah, depending on how you want to do your
As
trigonometry.
the crow flies, it is.
Yeah, but so it's a matter of time before people start hotty-toddying at Rick Edmonds. When we do this whole thing, you know, and then they're like, and he went to East Texas Baptist for college. We all went to LSU. And so, like, you know, when I say this is absurd, you're going to have these issues come up in this campaign, and nobody gets out alive on this stuff. So, you know, I'm waiting for the Facebook posts of, you know, Dixon doing the hotty-totty thing with Rick Edmonds.
It's got to happen. Yeah,
because of course you do, right? And I can't wait to see what Edmonds is going to say in response. Maybe I think we should bring Dan Bournet back. Is maybe what Rick Edmonds is going to say.
Lord. Hey, last one before I get you out of here. I know we're running long already, but last one before I get you out of here. If you are in District 5 and you look at Blake Miguez joining this race, how do you not feel like a consolation prize? Does that play? Like, does that play in a voter's mind?
If you're in Baton Rouge and you're in District 5, and they gave you Julia Letlow, who, you know, was from Rayville, as your congresswoman, like, you felt like a consolation prize for a while.
Well, no. What I mean, Scott, is like Blake said, I want to be senator. I want to be senator. I want to be senator. Okay,
right.
I'll go ahead and settle for Congress. Like that. Does
I don't know. I like, they're politicians.
And look, Blake just wants to serve. Like that's who he is as a person.
Right.
But
I mean, but that's the thing. Look, they're politicians. Okay. Everybody knows that if you're in Congress, you're there until you do something else. Right. You run for governor, you run for senate. Like, everybody knows this. So for a few days you may think that, and then you get over it. Because, you know, like everybody knows this business, and, you know, they're all trying to move up. So be it. Right.
Yep. He's Scott McKay from the Hayride. Not our last conversation about this or the rest of the political scene. So we'll talk soon, Scott. Always appreciate it, bro.
All right. See you, Brian. Have a good one.
You too. Way late for news, traffic, weather. Julia Letlow's next. Oh, man. We ran so long there.
I know. I was like, what we doing? Not to sound stupid, what's the Hayride? I've seen it.
It's basically an online conservative newspaper / opinion piece. Like, he has a number of, they have a lot of opinion pieces, but some news.
I've seen it before. He's very entertaining to listen to.
Scott and I have a good back and forth. We have a good back and forth. Yeah, well, when he's on with Moon or Joe over there at Lafayette, like it can get wonky heavy. Like, I keep him more pop culture-y and like,
not too heavy.
Right.
Talk 107.3. Hey, Julia, we'll be coming to you in like 2 minutes, okay? Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
I wish Franz had more time because he could be your co-host on the show.
No. It. And we don't want it to be all. We don't want it to be all completely out of left field. So. Okay, I still haven't figured out how to ask this question without myself editorializing on the attack ad. Like, I.
Do you want me to fire up her ad?
No, we're not playing it again. Like, that's like, because I don't want to pigeonhole. I need to leave it more open ended than just where they say in the house, like that. The only thing I haven't done is the phrasing of it, which.
Just address the elephant in the room and say the attack after early.
Yeah.
More are going to be coming.
I think I got it. I know. I think I. Well, but I want to I want her to be able to talk about her record, like because it goes after her voting record. Oh, the most liberal Republican in Louisiana's delegation. Okay, that's like saying Thomas Jefferson's the worst president on Mount Rushmore. I mean, just such a stupid thing to say. It was so short-sighted. No, but it. Heritage Foundation has her at 87%. Like, that's good. Really good. Same.
How does she meet her fiance? In the business, correct? Like, he's a.
I don't know. Oh.
Huh. I did know her other husband passed.
Luke, yeah.
Okay, good for her.
Oh yeah, like as young, I know.
She's so sweet. She's always bright when she calls. We got to pull our winner too. I'm gonna do that.
No, the last segment, yeah.
I must make a win.
840 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Let us waste no time. We got to get to DC Current presented by LABI. Welcoming back to the show, Congresswoman Julia Letlow. How are you this morning?
Hey, Brian, I'm doing great, but I'm cold up here in D.C. I hope it's warmer down there with y'all.
Properly thawed after getting home, for sure. Absolutely properly thawed. It was cold. Like the whole week last week was cold.
Goodness, it just takes your breath away when you walk outside. I tell you what, I'm not made for this type of cold weather.
And
I
the
don't think
snow
anybody
just
from
sitting there.
Louisiana is.
Yeah, the snow just sitting there for like 5 days later. Like there was no thaw. There was nothing. You just had to walk over mountains of ice everywhere you went.
Yes, and try not to slip. I hope everybody made it out okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So the purpose of this segment is to talk about you as a congresswoman or the job you're doing as a congresswoman, and we're going to get to that. The purpose of this segment is not about the campaign for the job you're seeking, but there's no way I don't have you on the phone and ignore the elephant in the campaign at this point. You and I had a nice little conversation up at Washington Mardi Gras, and as we were having that conversation, the first attack ad of the campaign was literally sitting on my laptop. I assume by now you've had a chance to consume it, absorb it, and I wanted to just give you an open forum to respond to it.
Well, sure, Brian. Thank you for that. You know, I think I've mentioned to you multiple times that it's been the honor of a lifetime to serve the people of the 5th District. I've always held the belief, you know, Luke always said it too, that this seat doesn't belong to the person who holds it. It belongs to the people who you represent. And that has always been at the forefront of my mind. You know, if elected to the Senate, I will continue with that belief that I need to be there to work for them. And I want to be their strong conservative voice, one who can work with the president, not against him. And Brian, I'm so honored to be the only candidate who has earned President Trump's endorsement in this race, a true conservative candidate. So, and you've also heard me say, I'm just a parent, a mom. I'm running for my 2 children. I want to fight hard to make our country better for them and for future generations. And I imagine that's why everybody in Louisiana gets up and works so hard. It's for our kiddos. And I'm going to continue fighting for parents' rights, for local control and education, fighting for our farm communities, and fighting to return taxpayer dollars to Louisiana. So I don't know if you can tell, Brian, but I'm fired up. I'm ready to continue my work for Louisiana's 5th District that we've already done now for all of Louisiana in the Senate. So I'm going to continue, no matter what attacks are thrown at me, to run with faith and hope and positivity, Brian. You know, I'm a positive person.
Yes.
And I'm here to serve instead of tear others down. So again, I go back to, I'll never forget the people who elected me and will always continue to be their voice. So I'm excited about the momentum our campaign is generating. And since you opened that door, I'm going to throw out, go to julialetlow.com if you want to be a part of our amazing campaign.
So, okay. Yes, the plug is very much appreciated always. Since we're on the path here, and we're going to pivot to the work you're doing right now, because that is, you are the
Great.
5th District Congresswoman. But I do want to ask you, how does a conversation with the president get started where you get an endorsement for a race you're not in yet?
Yes, that is a long backstory. I'll probably write, hopefully, if I have the chance to ever write a book one day, I'll put it all because it's a lot more than one conversation. But wow, what an incredible experience. And I tell you what, he doesn't hand out endorsements easily. You have to earn it. And he has to believe that you are a true conservative through and through. And I'm proud to say I earned that, Brian. So.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow is our guest. All right, let's go ahead and pivot over real quick. You mentioned the still freezing weather up in Washington, D.C. Your old stomping ground took it hard with that storm that rolled through. Walk me through a little bit about what you've been able to do up on Capitol Hill to help get some help back home.
Sure. So the devastation in North Louisiana has been heartbreaking, especially heartbreaking to me. I mean, this is my hometown, and it was hit the hardest in Louisiana. You know, I equate it to the equivalent of a hurricane for us, Brian, in Northeast Louisiana. We're not used to dealing what y'all have had to deal with in South Louisiana, but my goodness, it was devastating for us. I shared the story of my own parents, being trapped. They live at the end of a dirt road in Calhoun, and were without power for 7 days. And my, I don't want to give out his age, but my 78-year-old father is walking up an icy hill to try to get to a neighbor's house to charge their cell phones. It's just heartbreaking what people had to go through, but over 100,000 power outages in North Louisiana.
Yeah.
I'm happy to report as of, I guess, yesterday, 2,400 are still without power. That's still too many, but that's way down from what we were working with last week. So I continue to be in contact with our local officials, of course, my constituents, but also FEMA and Energy from the beginning. We've been focused on providing resources. Again, there's been a federal emergency declaration, which allows the feds to pay for much of the cleanup by reimbursing state and local governments. We just learned yesterday from the governor, small businesses impacted can also now apply for low interest disaster loans from the Small Business Administration. I will keep advocating for all the aid Louisiana needs to get back on our feet. That is my number one job. I will go to the mat every day for that. But goodness, Brian, just watching friends and neighbors help each other get through this. As you know, we are resilient people. We are a resilient state, and we will recover from this.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow is our guest. This is DC Current, presented by the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. How does, your role on appropriations, is there a dovetail here where your role is advantageous, or do you just have to, sit and watch where the dollars go?
Oh, no, these agencies answer my call because I'm on appropriations, which is awesome. It wasn't always like that before, but right now FEMA is coordinating the response with GoStep. So affected residents can report damages online with GoStep at damage.la.gov. It's very important that they do that. I know some are still waiting to connect to the internet, but and if anyone needs help with that, they can call my Monroe office, Brian. The number is 318-570-6440. Not sure if you can put that up on your website, but I would so appreciate it.
Wait, one more time, 318 what?
Yeah, 318-570-6440. Okay. Because we want to make sure people are able to report their damages and get the help that they need. But yes, that seat on appropriations comes in handy whenever you need to speak to someone immediately at one of these agencies.
Speaking of appropriations, we had a partial government shutdown for a quick minute. Talk to me a little bit about the work that got done to get the appropriations bills across the finish line.
Oh, gosh, Brian, music to my ears as an appropriator. We talk about regular order, getting all of these bills across the finish line. We're waiting on one more. We have a continuing resolution for DHS because of the drama that went down on the other side for that. So while we wait for those negotiations to be hammered out on that last bill, I'm happy to report that 11 have made it across the finish line. That is good news for my district, for the wins that we've been able to get in those bills for the 5th district through community project funding. I want to talk about one if I have time.
You do.
For the Baton Rouge area, this included $3.5 million to support the construction of an advanced indoor water rescue training facility at the Louisiana Fire and Emergency Training Academy. So that will greatly improve the training and preparedness of our first responders and enhance safety for all Louisiana communities. It was my understanding they were practicing this in the river before. So this training facility—
Wait, the Mississippi River?
I have no idea.
Ew.
Some open body of water that they were doing that, which was very unsafe.
Yeah.
So we're glad to provide them with a training facility so they can better protect our residents.
Absolutely, and that training facility is used by firemen from all over the place. It's here in Baton Rouge, but it's not just for Baton Rouge.
Correct, for the entire state as firefighters go out and protect our communities. So that's a big one.
We got just a minute or so left with Congresswoman Julia Letlow. If we could, literally 1 minute to go, what's on tap for this week? What are you looking at now that that we've got the partial shutdown behind us?
Yes, we've got the partial shutdown. They actually are closing down shop for tomorrow. So we will work on a few suspension bills today, and then everybody will go back home and start working in their districts, which I am very happy to get back home. I haven't been home since before Washington Mardi Gras. I have a sick little kiddo at home I need to get home to attend to, so I'm anxiously awaiting.
Well, it is currently 53 degrees in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So if I can rev up how anxious, that might take it to another level. She is Congresswoman Julia Letlow. We always appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon. Maybe we can get you in the studio while you're back home.
Would love that, Brian. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. That was DC Current, presented by the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Always appreciate checking in with the Congresswoman. We got a quick break. When we come back from that break, we'll check traffic and then give away a King Cake here on Talk 107.3.
I'm going to take the first, I believe it's a minute 30. When you go and you ask her how does a conversation come up like that, she reiterates again. She addresses the elephant in the room, and I'm going to cut it.
Going to the first question is better content. Like when I ask her, so when I say react to the ad, she danced around it a little bit.
You don't think flip it after the second question, or just clip it before you ask the second question? I like her response after that.
It gets a little bit long for social media content. That gets. Okay, if you want to make that 2 different posts, that's fine too.
And then maybe I can post the second one tomorrow. But for today, I'll say in case you missed it, Julia Letlow responds.
Yeah. If all things go to plan, we're gonna have a guest tomorrow that's gonna overtake all of this shit. So, yeah.
I would love to meet her in person.
Julia?
Yeah.
Intimidatingly attractive.
Really?
Oh.
Business and industry. Welcoming back to the show, Congresswoman Julia Letlow.
Because she just seems like a ball of fun.
Oh, no, she's totally chill.
And sweet as pie.
She's totally chill and absolutely, but like, yeah.
He's calling.
Yep. $8:56 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Got to remind you about the folks over at One Bath and Closets, onebathandclosets.com. Go ahead and spell out the one O-N-E, onebathandclosets.com. Christy and I, we dove in. We decided it was time that our house, which was built in 1964, needed a little bit of an upgrade, a little refresh when it comes to the master bathroom. And we called David and his team at One Bath and Closets. We called them at 400-8005. Said, what can you do? He came over, he got an assessment of the square footage, really explored the space, and started working back and forth. What did we want? What did we want to see? How did we want to see it play out? And we walked through all the details and all the possibilities, and what came out on the other end was absolute perfection. Could not be happier with the way our master bathroom came out. So if you live in a home in Baton Rouge that was built in the 70s, the 80s, heck, even the 90s were 30 years ago, might be time for an upgrade. Give David a call. 400-8005 for One Bath and Closets. All right. Every week up until Mardi Gras Day, we give, or every Thursday, I should say, we give away a king cake courtesy of the folks over at Mathern's, the Kenilworth Mathern's, as it were. Bree Lynn, who do we have today?
All right. We got Brett Bobe from Baton Rouge.
Hey, all right. Brett. Okay, Brett's been a long time listener. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Brett Bobe gets himself a king cake from the Kenilworth Mathern's. Got to go to the Kenilworth Mathern's to pick that one up. Of course, there are 3 locations of Mathern's in Baton Rouge, but the Kenilworth is kind of your home base as far as being the king cake headquarters is concerned. The downtown Mathern's is about to be your home base for when it's parade time and you get out on the route, you realize, oh, we ran out of beer. Let's go get more. Or, oh, the kids are hungry. Let's go get some sandwiches, whatever the case might be. Mathern's has got you covered on both fronts. And Brett, Mathern's has got the king cake on us for you over there at the Mathern's. It's on Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. Not enough time for us to get into another topic today. Man, I really want to tease what's coming up tomorrow, but it's not confirmed, so I can't.
I want to know. Because you're like, you think today's good? Wait till tomorrow.
No, I know. But the thing is, if it doesn't come through, then it.
Is it 50 Cent finally?
No, it's not. I have not gone through his people yet. I've not got a call back from his people yet.
Just keep staying on it.
Well, and here's the thing, though. Remember last week when I had all those problems getting to Washington Mardi Gras?
Yep.
Had I not run into those weather problems, I would have been in the same room with him on Wednesday night.
You would have got 50 Cent.
I know.
Finally.
I know. Still livid about it. All right. Well, Moon Griffon's coming up next. Of course, we'll have Cup and Tech Gumbo tomorrow. Of course, we'll have Crime Stoppers tomorrow. As for the rest of it, well, I'm not going to tease what's not confirmed.
And Foodie Friday? No, Foodie Friday.
I believe
I'm always a day ahead this week.
Oh, you know what we do have? The folks from Bally's coming by tomorrow.
Okay, I have not been.
So we're talking DraftKings, the DraftKings Sportsbook. We're gonna get you ready for the Super Bowl, and we're probably gonna eat a little bit too.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I've been one day ahead all week. I'll get it together.
Yeah. Well, I think Mathern's is in for Foodie Friday, but that has to be confirmed too.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, more king cake. All right, we got to get out of here, y'all. Moon Griffon's coming up next. You got Moon from 9 till noon. Don't forget our new afternoon drive show, Eric Erickson from 4 to 6. We'll see you later. Oh, that was me leaving it all on the field. I am done. I might. I don't know. I just need this to clear out. That's all.
Well, that'll clear
So.
out. But tonight-ish, you might be able to breathe on one.
No, like Mucinex will get me done. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We'll see you later.